Hello and welcome back to Chasing the Target. India have clean sweep New Zealand. It's been a whitewash and they win by the third one day by 90 runs, a convincing victory. Both Shubman Gill and Rohit Sharma setting the tone, both scoring hundreds, and then Mr. Kuldeep Yadav, Shadov Thakur taking 3 wickets each. So another convincing win. Disappointing from New Zealand, but India were outstanding in this series. They did what they had to do. They made sure keep high, no slip ups, and this is the sixth win in a row. I think in 1 days if you count the Sri Lanka series, and now they are the number one team in one day internationals. So, congratulations to the Indian team. We'll discuss a lot. There's a lot to discuss in today's game and looking at the future ahead. Hum first. Sudhir bhai, thank you so much for joining. आज बहुत दुख हुआ for Bracewell. Yeah, Bracewell could not get going today, but Conway बहुत जबरदस्त खेला. I think उसकी जो पारी थी बहुत अच्छी थी. Unfortunately, New Zealand again जो फैज बोल रहा था कल भी कि मिडिल ऑर्डर और टॉप ऑर्डर उतना दे डिडंट कम टू द फोर. ऑल्दो टुडे टॉप ऑर्डर ने काम किया. कॉनवे ने बहुत अच्छी पारी खेली. बहुत फ्लुएंट इनिंग्स थी. बाउंड्रीज भी मिल रहे थे. स्ट्राइक भी रोटेट हो रहा था मिचेल के साथ. लेकिन फिर विकेट्स रेगुलर इंटरवल्स पे फिर कॉनवे पे दबाव. आई थिंक दो जो डिसअपॉइंटिंग प्लेयर्स मेरे लिए ग्लेन फिलिप्स आज वो मेरे फैंटेसी भी थे और टॉम लेथम की जो परफॉर्मेंस होती है इंडिया में जनरली बहुत अच्छी होती है. He's a very good player of spin, and these are conditions that he really enjoys, and also he likes playing against India in any conditions. So I was very surprised with his performance. फैज भाई आ रहे हैं. थोड़े बिजी आदमी हैं, वो आ रहे हैं. अभी थोड़ी देर में जुड़ेंगे हमारे साथ. सुधीर भाई शुक्रिया, आप जुड़ गए उनसे पहले. Chirag bhai, disappointing series because no KL Rahul. Chirag bhai, that's why you're disappointed, or why you're disappointed? Let me know. I mean, from an India perspective, it's a great win. But if you look at from a neutral perspective, yes, it was disappointing. It became one-sided towards the end. I felt today again too many runs, scoreboard pressure did the better of New Zealand. Like even with 380, they could have got closer. To get all out in the 41st, 42nd over. I think that was not necessary. If they batted 50 overs, they would have at least got close to that target. And losing wickets again, regular intervals. Of course, you have to give India credit there in terms of bowling. Shardul Thakur was outstanding. The way his variations are really good. He is a wicket taker. Yeah, of course, he has a tendency to get hit also, but jo knuckle ball dala, like getting wickets on full tosses and things, it's because of the variations. And Kuldeep keeps breaking partnerships. Even early in this innings, he's the one who broke the partnership, and it was a very good delivery from him. Umran Malik, again, slightly expensive, but he did get the big wicket of Conway, and that's why you want Umran Malik in your team. Even though he can be expensive, he can pick up big wickets. But I agree with you, Chirag Bhai. I think in terms of just the series overall, it was disappointing because 3-0 one-sided हो गया. But we're not going to complain. If you're supporting India, आप उतना complain नहीं करेंगे because अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस थी. लेकिन आपको ये भी ध्यान में रखना पड़ेगा कि भाई लास्ट ईयर आप T20 में भी बहुत अच्छा शुरुआत किया, फिर वर्ल्ड कप में आके आप परफॉर्मेंस दिए नहीं. तो अभी ये वर्ल्ड कप साल है फिर से 50 ओवर का, और आप फिर से अच्छी शुरुआत के साल में. लेकिन to continue that, keep doing that momentum, I think that will be key. सुधीर भाई, ओवर बहुत बचे थे, बिल्कुल बहुत बचे थे यार. और अगर आप 50 ओवर अगर पूरे खेले तो न्यूजीलैंड खरीब आ जाती थी. चश्मे में, अरे वो रिंग लाइट है सुधीर भाई. Sky lost his chances. He will be out once Shiraz is back. Look, I'll be very honest with you. I don't mind him playing like that, but I understand where you're coming from. And a lot of people will criticize Surya Kumar Yadav because in 50 overs you should take a bit of time. You shouldn't be in a hurry. I personally don't mind that. Like that he took his time. I mean, didn't take his time and started swinging from ball one. But if you look at Hardik Pandya's innings today, that's what you want from Surya Kumar, right? And Hardik Pandya took his time. But there are instances where Hardik Pandya has taken his time and not performed also. So I'm saying that already there's a player like Pandya who will take his time and try to score runs. Then Surya can try something different. So it hasn't come off yet, but when it comes up, I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. I think they should be a bit more patient with Surya, but I understand, Chirag bhai, aap kahan se aa rahe from that position. That middle order collapse from India will be a bit worrying because in big games, if you're playing somebody like England or if New Zealand batted better, then that you would say that collapse was worrying. Also, if you didn't get the start that Shubman and Rohit gave, just बहुत तगड़ी स्टार्ट थी. आप 200 बना दिए कितने 25 ओवर में. इतना जबरदस्त स्ट्राइक रेट चल रहा था, रन रेट चल रहा था. तो यू डिडंट हैव टू वरी टू मच दैट इवन इफ यू कोलैप्स यू स्टिल गॉट टू 380. मगर फॉर एग्जांपल अगर पहले विकेट गिर गई अगर 100 रन पे विकेट गिर गई और फिर आप ऐसा कोलैप्स कर रहे तो फिर प्रॉब्लम हो जाता था. एंड अगेन द मिडिल ऑर्डर विल हैव टू टेक मोर रिस्पांसिबिलिटी, स्पेशली जब आपको इतना अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म मिलता है. 450, 500 was on the cards. I'm being very critical now because it's a World Cup year and we want India to do well. I am being a bit critical, a bit over critical, because that's one aspect. The middle order is a slight concern, especially when you've got such a good platform. Again, I still like the approach, though. I won't be too worried. I like the approach that they were being aggressive. And they were trying to get the boundaries. But there's a couple of times, especially Ishan Kishan, उन्हें struggle करा, middle order में. Again, he's used to opening the batting in one days and एकदम से उसको middle order में लेके आ गया, तो वो थोड़ा struggle किया. विराट कोहली, I mean, he played well. He was on the attack. One shot too many, you can say, but I don't mind that approach. But a certain, like, the way Ishan played, the way Surya, of course, there will be talks about consent कि भाई थोड़ा और sensible खेलो, especially आप जब इतना start देते हैं, आप 400 के ऊपर मार सकते हैं. चिराग भाई, ये सबसे पहले उमरान मलिक को ड्रॉप करेंगे. भाई उमरान मलिक को देखो, मेरे हिसाब से ड्रॉप नहीं करना चाहिए फ्रॉम द स्क्वाड. ठीक है, आप उसको हर गेम खिलाना जरूरत नहीं है बिकॉज यू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ कंपटीशन. बट यू सॉ टुडे जो कॉन्वे का विकेट लिया उसने, ठीक है, इट वेंट स्ट्रेट इनटू रोहित्स हैंड्स एंड व्हाटएवर. इफ इधर उधर गया तो बाउंड्री हो जाती थी, लेकिन उसका जो एक्स्ट्रा स्पीड है तंग करती है बैट्समैन को. मिचेल को भी उसने बीट किया. अगर आप गौर से देखें, before Mitchell got out, he played and missed a few at Umran. So that pace will disturb batsmen all around the world. So I feel that Umran Malik should always be in and out of the. They should always be in and around the Indian squad. ODI requires consistency. Hardik से compare नहीं कर सकते. He's an all-rounder. वो bowling से contribute कर सकता है if he gets out by. I'm not comparing with Hardik, Chirag bhai. I'm just saying Hardik gives you something in a certain way, like he takes his time and then smashes it. Then someone like a Surya can give you something different. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying कि थोड़ा सा contrast रख सकते हैं वैसा. Because if I'm looking at it from the flip side, from opposite to what you're thinking, he's not wasting any deliveries. Out हो गया, ठीक है, आप बोल रहे हैं टाइम लेना चाहिए, बात आपकी बिल्कुल सही है, मगर मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि रिस्क लो आप, और थोड़ा सा अगर एक दिन उसने मार दे 50 बॉल में 100, then that's going to take India to 500. That's why I don't mind him playing like this. I understand completely where you're coming from, but just try to see what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying that it's okay if you have someone like that who's a bit different. If you bring in Shreyas Iyer, again, it's not a bad call, and I'm sure Shreyas Iyer will come back in. He's a very good player of spin. Indian conditions is okay. But then the pattern might be a bit more similar. You're right, though. If he's not going to be consistent, he will get dropped. Then whatever I say, it's not going to make a difference anyway. But he has to show consistency in his run. Surya Kumar Yadav. आप पूरा मैच देखे क्या मतलब है? हाँ, मतलब तकरीबन पूरा देख लिया, चल रहा था साइड में, थोड़ा बहुत सूझ जाता है, लेकिन तकरीबन काफी मैच देखा मैं. एंड आई थिंक जो शुरुआत थी बहुत एक्साइटिंग शुरुआत थी. जो स्टेडियम, मतलब छोटा स्टेडियम, बाउंड्रीज फ्लो हो रहे थे एकदम से, और शुभमन गिल के कड़क शॉट्स. रोहित शर्मा, व्हेन ही इज इन फुल फ्लो, देयर इज नो वन बेटर देन हिम. ही हैज सो मच टाइम, मतलब इतना टाइम उसके पास. टाइमिंग उसकी इतनी क्रिस्प है रोहित शर्मा की. इट्स अ डिलाइट टू वॉच. एंड व्हेन दे वर बोथ बैटिंग, बहुत मजा आ रहा था, स्पेशली द ओपनिंग स्टैंड. आई फेल्ट दैट रोहित शर्मा 200-300 भी मार ले सकता है आज, बिकॉज ग्राउंड भी छोटा था, बैटिंग पिच थी, लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली दोनों 100 पे आउट हो गए. And and anyway, it was a match-winning performance from New Zealand's point of view. Bowling में बहुत पिट गए थे. I think the opening stand crushed them. The way they came back, I like that. Whether it was Stickner, Duffy went for 100 also, but there was 2-3 overs that he bowled which were good. Ferguson bowled well as well, and certain overs he got. I think there was one over उसको 22 मार दिए थे. I think his fourth over. Otherwise, he was decent. So there were times where New Zealand were really expensive, especially at the start of the game, first 20, 25, 30 overs, but then they pulled things back. And when they pulled things back, you could say they restricted India under 400. वैसा हो गया था. I expected more from their batting. I know their bowling is a bit inexperienced, and they will be a bit wayward in line and length. मगर बैटिंग से मैं ज्यादा एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा था, बिकॉज कॉनवे आपको इतना अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म दिया. आपको प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था कि ओपनिंग स्टैंड नहीं मिल रही थी आपको, वो पार्टनरशिप नहीं मिल रहा था, मगर आज मिल गया था प्लेटफॉर्म. एंड बहुत अच्छी प्लेटफॉर्म थी, एंड यू वर ऑलवेज विद इन दैट रिक्वायर्ड रन रेट. आप बहुत करीब थे. वो रिक्वायर्ड रन रेट वाजंट क्लाइंबिंग अप. That's why I was disappointed that they lost so many wickets in the middle. Again, Glenn Phillips की wicket, Latham की wicket, big wickets. They will be very disappointed. मेरे हिसाब से Phillips का ground था. Latham भी, मतलब इतना अच्छा player है, और 3 spinner के against खेल रहे थे आप. So I think someone like a Latham would have been very, very useful, but he's just not in form right now in this series. As far as भाई की favorite team हार गई. हाँ, हार गई आज Sunrisers. 130 I think chase करना था Paul को, and they chased it down very easily. No, I wouldn't say easily. Miller आके 2 छक्के मार के थोड़ा आसान कर दिया, but it was a bit of a tricky chase. Unfortunately, Sunrisers मेरी भी टीम है, तो unfortunately हार गए आज, लेकिन कोई नहीं, वापस आएंगे. It's been a good run so far from the Sunrisers, especially after losing the first 2 games. अभी भी गेम चल रहा है. और कैसी है T20 का. ये डॉक्टर फुटी भाई तो बहुत फेमस आदमी है मुस्तफा भाई. हाँ जी, बहुत बहुत ज्यादा, और हम बहुत लकी है कि फैज भाई के बहुत अच्छे दोस्त थे, और हमारे साथ जुड़ते रहते हैं. काफी अच्छे उन्होंने बहुत जबरदस्त खाने के रिव्यूज करते हैं, स्पेशली वो हैदराबादी एक्सेंट में है उनका, तो थोड़ा फनी भी रहता है. एंड ऑल्सो पूरा हैदराबाद में एंड अराउंड द वर्ल्ड जो भी उन्होंने जहाँ भी जाते खाने के रिव्यूज करते, तो आप चेक कर सकते हैं वो. So I'm not saying he should take time. I want him to contribute in more matches. It should be at least 150 in 5 innings. And yeah, I agree. I can't argue with that. I'm telling you again, I can't argue with you. Even if you said he should take time, I can't argue with you. You're still right in that aspect. But I'm just saying from my point of view, I'm okay with it. I know that from other, it's not acceptable from the Indian team's point of view. You need your player to be consistently scoring runs, especially when you have someone like a Shreyas Iyer there. You have other batsmen coming in. You have so much competition. I completely agree with you. He'll have to score runs. I just don't mind his approach. That's all I'm saying. Lekin yeah, it's 3-0 now. Number 1 one-day team. How much will this mean? Only time will tell. ये number 1 ranking कितना महीना रखेगा, because World Cup है भाई. अगर आप World Cup नहीं जीते तो number 1 का कोई फायदा नहीं है. It's now about working to that World Cup. It's about becoming mentally strong. I think one positive is that they clean sweep the last 2 series. They made sure there was no stone left unturned. They went full throttle. Didn't take the foot off the accelerator. They rotated the squad, मगर intensity वही थी. तो मेरे हिसाब से वो बहुत अच्छा पॉजिटिव है इंडिया का. Like there's still certain aspects I want them to improve, whether it's death bowling, finishing off the tail, middle order batting, also finishing off in innings. That's something also. जब टॉप ऑर्डर नहीं चलती है, अगर आप 40 for 4 आ जाते, फिर आप किस तरीके से बैटिंग करेंगे. आप प्रेशर सिचुएशन में मुश्किल पिच पे जहाँ पे स्विंग होंगे, आप कैसी बैटिंग करेंगे, ये थोड़े सवाल है मेरे दिमाग पे. For me, number 1 is England in both ODI and T20. These rankings are pure BS. I agree with you there, Chirag. By England, for me, the way they play their one-day cricket is just sensational. Very aggressive, and it's so difficult to implement that kind of thing. It's very easy to say कि भाई ball one se maro, but there's 2 things. You need to have a lot of skill for that, and you need to have a lot of mental strength. It's not easy because there's going to be times where you're going to look stupid, you're going to look like a clown. But to continue that, it's remarkable. It's very tough to do that, but the way they do it, it's outstanding. They take everything out of the equation. They play in a certain way, and England look very dangerous. अब से number 1 team को World Cup trophy देना चाहिए भाई. अगर वो consistency की बात है, bilaterals की बात है, तो इंडिया किंग है bilaterals की. लेकिन बात यही है कि जब टूर्नामेंट प्रेशर होता है, आईसीसी मैच सेमीफाइनल, फुल क्राउड है, थोड़ा सा घास है पिच पे या थोड़ा टर्न है, आपके बैट्समैन कैसा परफॉर्म करेंगे. अगर फ्लैट पिच है, आपके बॉलर्स कैसा परफॉर्म करेंगे. तो यही बात है, इंडिया को यही इंप्रूव करना पड़ेगा. सवाल है अभी भी, लेकिन they're going in the right direction. That's what I can say for now. You can only beat what's in front of you, and you have to take it series by series, but still you have to have that World Cup in mind कि हम ऐसा खेलना चाह रहे हैं, और कंटिन्यू करो. फिर अगर आप रोहित शर्मा और शुभमन गिल ऐसी बैटिंग कर रहे हैं, आप वर्ल्ड कप में भी ऐसा करो. अगर स्टूपिड शॉट खेल लिया, आउट हो गए, ठीक है, मगर आपका एक एंकर आपके फोन है, क्लैरिटी दे दो. विराट कोहली है, ठीक है. आप अगर प्लान बी आपका क्या है, फॉर एग्जांपल अगर रोहित शर्मा शुभमन गिल कोहली आउट हो गए, फिर मिडिल ऑर्डर कैसे अप्रोच करेंगे, ये क्लैरिटी होना चाहिए. बिकॉज नॉट एवरी डे यू गोट हैव अ स्मॉल ग्राउंड और फ्लैट पिच. देयर विल बी different testing times, and the opposition will also test you in different ways. Yes, I've seen that McCallum's performance was on 15 World Cup. He was playing T10 and 50 over game, and he changed. That World Cup, he made it so entertaining. Changed the face for New Zealand cricket. The way he was playing so aggressive. Test cricket, maybe I think his last Test match against Australia in New Zealand, he hit 100 in no time, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what it is. You have to have some guts, and also on the big stage, like World Cup knockout game, go for it. Look at McCallum. Semi-finals in 2015, उसकी जो innings थी वो outstanding, very quick fire 50, and it put South Africa on the back foot. In the final, he tried to do the same thing. He got out. So you can say that he should have taken his time, whatever. No, but he trusted his process. It worked in one game, it didn't work in the other game, and that's what I want certain players in India also to do. Like if you're an aggressive batsman, go for it. This type of coach can change any team approach. Umran, Thank you, Sai Bhai, for joining. Oman is in pre-Siraj stage with good pace and accurate length. I think he can do better upcoming. Absolutely. Look, he is inexperienced. He will learn as time goes by, and these experiences will be invaluable for him. As he's seeking out, playing against this kind of opposition, against this kind of opposition, playing with the likes of Siraj and Shami for company, he will continue to learn. You can't expect a youngster to ekdam se aake and just like smash everybody. These are good experiences. When he gets hit, it's a good experience. When he gets wickets, it's a good experience. And hopefully, by the time the World Cup comes, he can be a key asset for India, and he can really make it difficult for opposition and take India through in crucial big matches also in semi-finals. Agar tied situation, a 60 or 40 balls required, Umar Malik comes and starts breaking the stumps. That's what you want. And Mr. Don is in the house. Thank you so much for joining. Kulcha doing well. Yes. I mean, look, Chahal played today. He got hit a bit. I still feel that certain areas of Chahal should improve, but Kuldeep has been outstanding in the last two series. He needs to keep playing, and he's been world class. Chahal, I felt today was okay. He did pick up a wicket, and hopefully he'll. His first couple of overs really good, but there's times where he does get hit, and that's where I want him to improve a bit. Really loving how well Kuldeep is developing continuously, and has that wicket-taking ability. Outstanding. अबरार भाई अगले में ड्रॉप हो जाएगा कुलचा ये भी हो सकता joining me is my co-host eagerly everybody's been waiting for him सब पूछ रहे थे किधर है भाई हमारे नवाब साहब अपने टाइम से आते कोई उनको डिस्टर्ब नहीं करना नहीं तो देखो उनके जो मसल से फोड़ के रख देता मैं तो डरता मैं कुछ नहीं बोल सकता व्हाट्सअप
अरे रे
ब्रो
रे रे मसल्स मेरे नहीं फोड़ के रख के आज इंडिया फोड़ के रख दी ऑलमोस्ट। आई मीन कॉनवे का इनिंग अच्छा था, बट हार्दिक पांड्या मुस्तफा मार दिया 50 एंड में आके।
या आज तो जबरदस्त खेला बैट मैं यूं बोल रहा था कि उसका जो अप्रोच था तुम देखे फिर से उन्हें टाइम लिया बट ही स्कोर्ड द 50 so I don't mind if Surya plays like how he played today. I know run nahi mara unhe but I don't mind because someone like Hardik Pandya uh, he takes his time but it worked out. He stayed there till the end. He batted well and for me he's developed in swinger man. उन्हें outswing डालता था. He's developed in swinger. I think he's mentioned that as well. लुकिंग गुड एज अ न्यू बॉल एसेट मगर फिट होना भाई ये सब अभी कर लेके कुछ मेरे को फायदा नहीं है. मैं तो सेमीफाइनल में ऐसा परफॉर्मेंस दो फिर मैं मान लेता हूँ आपको और फिर भी नहीं
करेंगे
मारूंगा इज
करेंगे।
बेटर देन बेन स्टोक्स बिकॉज ही नीड्स टू स्टिल स्कोर एशेस काइंड ऑफ इनिंग्स एंड ही हैज टू विन द टी20 वर्ल्ड कप फिर मानेंगे.
अरे रे 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 भाई बहुत ज्यादा आप ऑब्स्टिकल्स डाल दे रहे हैं हार्दिक पांड्या के सामने। एक ऑब्स्टिकल के बाद फिर इंजर होके बढ़ेगा ना करे भाई। बट ओवरऑल यार मैच ओवर
यही है
जबरदस्त।
प्रॉब्लम. अगर आप द वर्ल्ड क्लास ऑलराउंडर आप इंजर नहीं हो सकते. ऑब्स्टिकल्स आपको करना पड़ता फेस.
जो फीडबैक आ रहा पूरन का डिले अनएक्सेप्टेबल, सॉरी भाई। आई गॉट लाइक अ लिटिल बिट लेट एज यूजुअल तो अभी तक हैदराबाद ही है भाई मेंटेनिंग दैट टेम्परामेंट। यस डिले इज अनएक्सेप्टेबल। आप भी डिले आए ना भाई, मेरे साथ ही चाहे बैगन के बात ना करो। जो पहले के उन लोग को सॉरी, आप अब भी आए तो आप लोग को बोलो साहब आप भी शुरू से शुरू आना, भाइयों का चैनल लेके आए। डॉन सॉरी, डॉन भी सॉरी, डॉन आई एम सॉरी, इंशाल्लाह आई जस्ट वांट रिपीट। बट या मुस्तफा ओवरऑल व्हाट वी वर थिंकिंग अबाउट डेविन कॉनवे। मेरा तो दोनों फैंटेसी पिक्स किराक हो गए, डेविन कॉनवे एंड शार्दुल ठाकुर
अरे
विद द
जबरदस्त.
बैट। आज अगर मैं ड्रीम 11 में टीम डालता तो वाकई आज बेहतरीन कमाई होती थी, लेकिन ऑब्वियसली कांट डू दैट। yeah, temperament जबरदस्त है, but I think somewhere down the line in the Indian innings we started off amazing. I thought 400 500 भी मार सकते थे आज अगर 20 overs में। I think कुछ 200 था स्कोर अपना। we were like
मैं बहुत
pacing at
सैड
a
था
very
कि
good
500 नहीं मारे और रोहित शर्मा का 100 नहीं आया. मैं बहुत अपसेट हो गया था.
Yeah, and it was on the cards, but then credit to New Zealand, they came back strong. They took Kohli bhi, unfortunately out of gaya. One guy I want to call out, if he's watching, Ashish, where are you? Rohit just hit a century, bro. एक साल भी नहीं लगा उसको ड्रॉट क्लियर करने के लिए. एक साल में उसके लगान में बारिश हो गई, मतलब उसके लगान में नहीं, in that kind of a situation. But yeah, he's back and yeah, we were seeing it coming. I think intent बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा है रोहित शर्मा का since the last few games. 80 मारा, 50 मारा back to back. He's scoring runs and he's having an aggressive more temperament towards his batting. Kohli was very unfortunate, I think, the way he got out. उन्हें नहीं करना था, बहुत जल्दबाजी में दिखा. I know he was eager to bat.
He got deceived by the slower ball. I don't think he was unfortunate. He just got
But
deceived, I think.
like since he was coming, he looked like to उसको दिमाग में आ गया था कि भैया सेंचुरी आ सकती है मेरी. I think थोड़ा उन्हें calm down होके खेल सकता था. And he was waiting एक शुभमन के लिए, या तो रोहित शर्मा आउट होना, मेरे को जाना है, खड़ जा रहा था 2-2 मिनट को उन्हें. But then little bit of fall. सूर्या कुमार से ultra disappointed यार. I was expecting big runs from him. He had the time. अब ये भी नहीं बोल सकते कि भाई आपके पास टाइम नहीं था. I don't mind if you soak in certain deliveries, man. I mean, if that's the situation, what's calling for, कि भाई, you see that New Zealand is picking up the momentum. थोड़ा बहुत आप होल्ड अप कर लो. It's not necessary आप fight fire with fire every time करो. कभी आप stay calm and
उन्हें
play out the
उन्हें
innings.
नहीं
It's
उन्हें
it's his
नहीं करना
temperament. I
चाहिए.
get it. उसका temperament है. But if you want to stick in this Indian team, if you want to see yourself in the World Cup team, then you have to play according to a bit of the 50-over format.
Should I tell you personally? I've
Hmm.
already mentioned this. I think you should continue to play like this. If they drop him for Australia, so be it. मगर change मत करो. मेरे हिसाब से मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ because
But it's
आपके
a
पास
very risky thing at sometimes, man.
I
Like,
don't
okay,
mind.
I agree. अगर हार्दिक पांड्या है and you have like Akshar Patel or someone who will play that slow innings, but अगर for example he's alone and he's the only one standing, then in those situations I would expect him to play how he played in that T20 where he made 50, but I was slow 50. I think that is what I would require
Yeah,
him to do.
yeah, no, but I agree with you. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just giving you my opinion. Like I don't think I'm right either. But I'm just saying कि if you let him play like this, I'm gonna drop हो गया, but let him be aggressive because कुछ नया देखने को मिल रहा है, and he can be that guy who can just take you out of nowhere and win you like a miraculous game if he plays with that approach. I understand कि भाई आपको पिच के हिसाब से खेलना है, ऑपोजिशन के हिसाब से खेलना है, आप रिस्पॉन्सिबल शॉट्स नहीं खेल सकते और उसकी काफी रिस्पॉन्सिबल शॉट्स हो गए. कितने बांग्लादेश सीरीज से तो देख रहा हूँ मैं 3 सीरीज हो गए
हम्म.
मगर मैं
वही
बर्दाश्त कर सकता हूँ बट
बर्दाश्त कर
आई
सकते
नो
हो, लेकिन क्या है, फिर बाद में रोना नहीं कि भाई तुम्हारे टीम में नहीं लिए, मेरे को टीम में नहीं ले रहे, मेरे को यू
नहीं
हैव
रोऊंगा क्यों रोऊंगा
रोइंग
उन्हें
100%. देखो बॉस, अगर आप स्टार्टर है T20 में एंड आपको वर्ल्ड कप ऑब्वियसली खेलना सब कुछ दिल बोलता, अगर आप
हाँ
उसके हिसाब से अडेप्ट नहीं करे आपका गेम एंड आप अब यही मैं जिद में खेलूंगा, जिद नहीं बोलूंगा मैं, मे बी मेरा टेम्परमेंट है, ये मेरा
हाँ नहीं
टेम्पलेट ऑफ
मगर
प्लेइंग
उन्हें
है.
उसके सिंपल बात है अगर उन्हें रोना नहीं रोना क्या फर्क नहीं पड़ता डजंट मैटर इफ ही क्राइज और डजंट क्राई इफ ही कंटिन्यूज टू प्ले लाइक दिस इज हिज थिंग and he gets dropped he'll have to accept it even if he doesn't accept it क्या कर सकता कुछ नहीं कर
Yeah,
सकता
that
राइट
though he
इट्स अ
will
यंग
not
वर्ल्ड
have
कप
anything. But my only thing is, see,
इस
it looked good
बस
in the T20 में जब उन्हें चेंज करके थोड़ा बहुत खेला, he stood there and then he took his time, which I didn't mind. That was also a good thing to see from him.
या
It's a
100%
maturity,
50 ओवर
kind
में
of
तो
maturity.
आपको और टाइम मिलता 50 ओवर में तो और टाइम मिलता आपको आई अग्री मगर मेरे को पसंद है भाई उन्हें जैसा खेला
थोड़े कमेंट
किशन
ना ले लो.
स्ट्राइक
Yeah.
Christian strike rate worrying when he doesn't get going very worrying and I think very worrying in the sense that like also the fact that they're playing with this position that is causing this issue he's used to opening the batting utilizing the power play पर एकदम से उसको middle order में लेके आ रहे
But
it's
उसको आने खेल के है पोजीशन में ऑलरेडी, लाइक वन डाउन टू डाउन. मुंबई इंडियंस में भी आई थिंक वन डाउन टू डाउन, तो ही
और
इज यूज्ड टू
खेलता
दिस
था
पोजीशन.
खेलता था बट इन द रीसेंट टाइम्स फॉर इंडिया व्हेनेवर ही प्लेड फॉर इंडिया इज ओपन द बैटिंग
And
तो
आज जो सिचुएशन में आया, honestly Mustafa, he could have soaked in, and he soaked in 24 deliveries. He had enough time to build in innings. Run out हो गया unfortunately, लेकिन I mean वैसा अगर अपन देख रहे तो he could have actually
फॉर
played
मी
it
दैट्स
and
मोर
gone from
वरीइंग
behind.
देन सूर्या कुमार बिकॉज़ सूर्या कुमार
Yeah.
फिर भी स्ट्राइक रेट 100 ऊपर करके आउट हो रहा
वो
this
है,
guy
but like
struggled in between and that's why I feel I feel from Ishan Kishan's point of view, it is a bit worrying, but it's okay. He's still young. He will learn. There's a lot of time. Back these players and see what happens. Why not, right? Pitch जो था उसमें strike rate नहीं accept कर सकते. Also,
yeah, exactly वही बोल रहा हूँ मैं भी.
New Zealand did bowl really well. देखो डॉन दो चीजें हैं हार्दिक का भी स्ट्राइक रेट उतना ही था लेकिन हार्दिक स्ट्रेट टिल द एंड ईशान couldn't convert so it's about the players
हार्दिक
ability
का
like
स्ट्राइक 142 था भाई, क्या बोल रहे
वोट नहीं तुम
at that.
I'm saying when his first 10 15 deliveries he also took a lot of time. It was similar to Ishan Kishan then Hardik accelerated even if you see Hardik's strike rate in the last game it was a 50-60 and he got out but today it was 50-60 he converted it. So Ishan Kishan, you can play like that and then accelerate, then it's fine. But he was not able to accelerate. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe, I mean, but it is shocking to see him because ये situation और ये जो chance है, मतलब आ सकता वापस for him because he's a wicket, but KL Rahul is right there in the back. I खुदा ना खासा permanent keeper बन जाएगा चिराग भाई देख के.
I don't think that's I mean, KL Rahul, I don't mind him in the team, bro. I don't really mind him in the team.
Yeah.
In the World Cup it's different, but you see, without KL Rahul, also have people really clinched their opportunity? Have anyone really stamped an authority? Not really, but I would say the
अक्षर
test
पटेल का
matches.
probably. Yeah.
For me, a bigger question is test matches. Shubman Gill should open over KL Rahul. That's my thought. That's what Shubman Gill has showed with this form. I don't care if it's a wide ball. I think he should open in that BGT.
Yeah.
But Otherwise, I don't think
No,
it's
but there's
that
no one else
different.
who can probably like who will be able to overtake him, right? Kone, Rohit Sharma also in good form. Shubman Gill fantastic form. KL Rahul was not opening wise, he wasn't great. Ishan Kishan also wasn't great in that Bangladesh test. So it is sure shot के भाई इनला दोनों ही रहेंगे.
को नहीं है श्योर शॉट, केएल राहुल वाइस कैप्टन है भाई।
नहीं तो उन्हें देखना पड़ेगा भाई उसको भी.
हाँ देखना पड़ेगा, मगर श्योर शॉट
हम्म.
नहीं है, देखना पड़ेगा उन लोग को, डिसीजन लेना पड़ेगा। नो, बिकॉज फॉर मी राइट नाउ आई थिंक द स्क्वाड, I mean, the team management is looking to
हम्म.
open KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma. Like, Shubman Gill is knocking on the door heavily, but I'm telling you that first test match, if everyone is fit, it's going to be Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul. Then if
KL
KL
Rahul,
Rahul
yeah.
fails, then Shubman Gill. And I think वो
सीनियरिटी मैन,
गलती है,
दैट इज ऑलवेज एक प्रॉब्लम है अपने पास, सीनियर
वो
सीनियर बोल के
गलती है।
घुसा लेते हैं.
बट अब देखो फैज, मेरे को एक चीज बताओ, के राहुल का सब बहुत क्रिटिसाइज करे एंड राइटली सो, मैं नहीं डिफेंड करूं उसको, मगर हैज एनीबॉडी क्लिंच्ड देयर पोजीशन इन के राहुल प्लेस? अब उन्हें नहीं खिला 3 ओडीआई जो भी है,
या एंड
T20।
दैट इज, ये चीज मैं कल कॉल आउट कर रहा था कि ईशान किशन इज नॉट टेकिंग द टाइम एंड द चांस दैट ही इज गेटिंग नाउ. मैं वही बोल रहा था. ईशान, अब जो हमारे कौन से भाई अभी दिखे थे, ईशान किशन वाज अनफॉर्चुनेट, आई थिंक सुधीर भाई अनफॉर्चुनेट. ओके, आई गेट इट. आज तो अनफॉर्चुनेट, लाइक व्हाट अबाउट द T20? ही ओनली स्कोर्ड 37 इन दैट फर्स्ट T20. उसके बाद 2 बैक टू बैक फ्लॉप्स. ही गॉट स्टार्ट्स, ही इज गेटिंग स्टार्ट्स. तो ये स्टार्ट्स बार-बार आप 200 मार लिया, बांग्लादेश में मार लिया, हो गया, लेट्स मूव ऑन फ्रॉम दैट. उसके बाद आप क्या करें? आज विकेट कीपिंग में भी आप घपले करें, आप
दैट्स
आज
हार्श।
स्टंपिंग चांस, हाँ, स्टंपिंग चांस में आप घपले करें, आप आज काफी let the ball go behind for a boundary on a couple of occasions. So you're not showing any signs of cementing your spot as a wicket keeper. अब next game,
This
I
is
don't know,
precisely why, this is
Jitesh
precisely
Sharma is
why
there, I think, in the T20.
this is precisely why me and Don were saying KS Bharat needs to be your keeper in the test matches. This is precisely why, because he's not mature enough yet. He's still very young. He will learn. The 200, it gives me a lot of confidence. He's there for the future. He will make mistakes, bro. He's a kid. विकेट कीपिंग में तुम सही पॉइंट आउट करे, उन्हें गलतियां करा आज विकेट कीपिंग में, काफी करा, स्टंपिंग चांसेस भी मिस हुए, 22 चले गए, उन्हें करा, एंड टेस्ट मैचेस में और प्रॉब्लम होगा उसको. That's why he still needs to mature. But I think continue to back him, keep him in and around the squad, give him opportunities. He might not play every single game, but give him maybe once a series or twice a series, give him an opportunity. I think he'll come back. And also, uska role, अगर उन्हें नहीं चल रहा मिडिल ऑर्डर में, then keep him as a backup opener. I think that's what they'll have to do.
Yeah, I think he needs to be clear where he's most comfortable to play, ताकि उन्हें बोल सकता कि भाई मेरे को यहाँ पे खिलाओ और कहीं नहीं खेल सकता मैं,
He
maybe वो
can't.
भी okay.
भाई उन्हें बोला मैं ओपनिंग करना चाह रहा हूँ, कैसा दिन के उसको ओपनिंग नहीं दे सकते. He
तो
cannot be
फिर उन्हें,
clear when he
हाँ,
has to go.
then he needs to
He
sort his
has to.
stuff out.
No, it's not about he has to sort his stuff out. He has to try and improve. Yeah, ठीक है. लेकिन what can he do? Either you have to be patient and wait until Shubman Gill or Rohit Sharma don't play again, or you have to improve your middle order game and try to make the most of your opportunities when you do get an opportunity in the middle order. It's not really much otherwise you can do. And this guy has a 200, but 200 is not a joke. So I feel that he has the talent.
200 है भाई, but 200 के बाद भी वो प्रोग्रेस. अब ईशान किशन का, शुभमन गिल को देख रहा है 200 के बाद भी, he is like next level right now, man. He has 360
But
runs in
Shubman
3
Gill
matches.
has not been his
Consist,
position
yeah,
has not been changed.
fixed.
He didn't come in the
हाँ,
middle
not
order.
changed. Yeah.
He's playing in a certain thing. He was not dropped. Kishan was dropped right in between, and then suddenly he came in the middle. His rhythm cut after 200. He didn't play the next game. You have to look at that also. He didn't
But
play the next
overall,
game.
number one and good confidence with the World Cup coming. Yes, our number one, so that's a very big achievement, and confidence to grow होगा. That's what I was saying. कल भी मैं ये बोला था मुस्तफा, we need to start finishing off. We need to be that dominant force where pitch पे आते कि लोगों की फड़यान अपने को देख के ना वो थोड़ी बहुत build हो रही probably image slowly, obviously कम से तो नहीं, I would say 10% maybe in this series, that we were the much more dominating team in the second ODI, and even this to an extent New Zealand did come back very well in that bowling where they were 212 and 25 overs, then they came back, got a lot of wickets, for 5 हो गए थे अपन, 290 for 5 हो गए थे एक स्टेज पे, but then in the end Hardik Pandya came and finished it off, at least getting us to 385. Bowling while again splendid performance बोलूंगा मैं, कुलदीप यादव, चहल also bowled pretty well. वो 2 छक्के खाने के अलावा he has certain obviously places where he has to work, but Kuldeep Yadav again setting the tone. Shardul Thakur क्या डाला उन्हें वो ball, first ball back to back on a hat trick opportunity. So it is good. It is a confidence gaining side, but अभी भी just clinical रहना, वो tail clean करते रहना, बैटिंग जैसी जा रही है वैसे चलते रहना, and then definitely अपन लोगों को डराना शुरू करेंगे. We'll be back to like scaring people before they play us. मुस्तफा भाई के लिए है, बट वही है ना मुस्तफा भाई, ओडीआई गिव्स यू टाइम टू सेटल एंड एक्सेलरेट। पूरी टीम तेज बोल के 20 ऑफ 10 मार के आउट हो जाएगी तो 200 ही बनेंगे।
नहीं, मगर मैं एक प्लेयर का बोल रहा हूँ, मैं पूरी टीम नहीं बोल रहा हूँ। मैं बोला हार्दिक पांड्या कैन टेक हिज टाइम, ही कैन प्ले हाउ ही इज प्लेइंग, और
बट
विराट
इंडिया
कोहली कैन
जैसी
प्ले
टीम
हाउ ही
है,
इज प्लेइंग।
इफ अगर अपन देख रहे हो ओवर द कोलैप्स, हमेशा एक चांस होता है इंडिया के साथ। लाइक आप देख लो 4 5 6, हमेशा अपन कहीं ना कहीं गाड़ी ऐसा एक जाते कि 3 तो 7 गारंटी या 2 तो 7 गारंटी जाते कभी कभी। ओवर द इयर्स बोलो, मैं जो मैं देखा हूँ कि भाई कोलैप्स का मेंटालिटी है इंडिया में। अगर उस सिचुएशन में
मगर
सूर्या चेंज नहीं करा अपना टेम्परमेंट, वो सिचुएशन में बोल रहा हूँ मैं, खाली वरना नहीं।
मगर मैं बोल रहा हूँ आपको, ईशान किशन स्लो खेल के आउट हो रहा है, इन्हें तेज खेल के आउट हो रहा है। आई एम गोना टेक सूर्य कुमार वन बेटर, लाइक दैट्स फॉर मी। आई एम गोना टेक दैट रेट। इफ आई नीड टू बी क्रिटिकल, आई एम गोना बी मोर क्रिटिकल ऑन द वे ईशान किशन प्लेड। आई
But
डोंट,
what if
आप
Surya
वैसे भी
plays a
कलेप्स
slower
कर रहे हो।
innings and is able to make more runs in longer
I
innings?
have Hardik Pandya to do that. I don't need Surya to do that. That's I'm just, this is my opinion. I'm
No,
saying I don't
yeah,
need
yeah, 100, yeah, yeah, get.
I don't need have Hardik Pandya can take his time and he can hit after, no problem. I have Virat Kohli, he can take his time and hit. I want somebody who ball once se marenga. This is just the approach I want to go with, because when you're gonna play against England, when you're gonna play against Australia, Pakistan, you have to attack. There has to be a player who's gonna go on the offensive. You have players to rotate the strike and play anchor, no problem. आपके पास है, आप रोहित शर्मा भी एंकर खेल सकता है, खेलना शुभमन गिल भी खेल सकता है, विराट कोहली भी खेल सकता है। I need
Mhm.
somebody who's going to hit from ball one. I'm willing to take that risk. That's just my opinion. You don't have to take that. And probably I won't be surprised if he gets dropped and Shreyas Iyer comes in. I just personally wouldn't do that. ये
Satish
टीम है
bhai sir,
देखो
yeah,
जबरदस्त।
Prithvi Shaw, Ishan Kishan, Tripathi, Sky, Huda, Pandya, Aksar, Umran, Chahal, Kuldeep and Mavi। ये तो यंगस्टर्स का दिख रहा पूरा कॉम्बिनेशन, एक्सेप्ट फॉर चाहल में भी। uh, ये is this for the T20 or is this for the BJT? I'm not, I think it's for the next T20 squad. I think what Satish bhai is saying. So how do you look at this, Mutwa?
मैं बस बोल रहा हूँ कि भाई आप विराट कोहली, अगर T20 या वनडे, आप विराट कोहली को छोड़ सकते हैं क्या? मतलब बिकॉज स्पेशली उन्हें T20 में भी मार चुका है, वनडे में भी मार चुका है, तो आपके हिसाब से कोहली नहीं होना चाहिए क्या इस टीम में? That's just my option. But yeah, it's a very good team, and Prithvi Shaw, outstanding player. Let's take this
Sorry, sorry.
comment because
हर बार वर्ल्ड कप से पहले अगर इंडिया टीम इंडिया अच्छा ही खेलती है, अच्छा है, खेलो भाई, इट गिव्स यू कॉन्फिडेंस। लाइक डॉन जस्ट पॉइंटेड आउट कि आपको कॉन्फिडेंस अच्छा है गोइंग इन। एंड ग्रुप में भी ये जो नोटिस करा सुधीर भाई, ग्रुप स्टेजेस तक जबरदस्त है, वो सेमीफाइनल ही है जहाँ पे खटक रही टीम अपनी, एंड उसकी जगह टेम्परामेंट एंड वी स्टार्ट फिनिशिंग ऑफ एक फोर्स ऑफ रेकनिंग बन गए इंडिया, और दूसरी वाली टीम की फट गई हमारे को देख के आने से पहले, तो वो चीज विल हेल्प अस थिंक।
वो तभी होंगे जब आप इतना कॉन्फिडेंस दिखाओ। आप दिखाते नहीं नॉकआउट मैचेस में, नहीं दिखाते। लाइक सिंपल बात है, आगे बढ़ के कोई भी नहीं देता शाहीन को, ना ट्रेंड बोल्ट को, ना थिंग। आप क्रीज में से खेलते, तो आप जब दिखाएंगे वो फिर फटेंगे, राइट? ऐसा थोड़ी फटेंगी। मैथ्यू हेडन वॉक डाउन द ग्राउंड एंड स्मैश जहीर खान फॉर अ सिक्स। एडम गिलक्रिस्ट लाइक पुल्ड हिम फॉर अ सिक्स इन 2003। दैट इज फिर फटेंगी। अगर आप वहां पे बैठ के टुक टुक करेंगे तो कहाँ फटेंगी बताओ?
स्काई को 30th ओवर के बाद खिलाओ और बताओ ये T20 गेम है, तुम ओपनिंग कर रहे हो। स्काई को आज टाइम था भाई, साई भाई, एंड आई थिंक या पहले जो मैच में उन्होंने आए थे वो केएल राहुल 43rd ओवर में, आई से कि भाई 47th ओवर में आया था स्काई, आई गेट इट कि नहीं था। आज काफी टाइम था उनके पास, 30th ओवर के पहले ही आए थे आई थिंक उन्होंने, या उसके बाद आए, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर। बट अगर मैं देख रहा हूँ यार एम्पल अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम, आप ओपनिंग करो, आप बताओ गेम, बट आप फिर 2 छक्के मार के फिर पैडल मारने
नहीं,
के
वो
वेरी
वैसा नहीं बोल
ऑकवर्ड।
रहे। वो बोल रहे खाली 20 ओवर दो उनको, सो ही कैन प्ले लाइक अ 20 ओवर गेम। ही इज नॉट सेइंग कि
He
टाइम
could
नहीं
do
था।
that today technically, no? He could do that today technically.
Yeah, he could have, but I like what he's. But that's how he plays in T20s. He played exactly how he plays in T20s today. He just got out.
Well, भाई ईशान 200 ओपनिंग मारा, नॉट, हाँ, नहीं नहीं, मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा कि उन्हें 4 पे मारा, इस ओपनिंग में मारा, बट जहां जगह मिल रही भाई सामान बांध दो और अपना
नहीं,
घर
मगर
बना
वो
लो वहां
थोड़ा
पे।
अनफेयर है मेरे
आई
ओपिनियन में। वो
गेट इट,
अनफेयर
ऊपर नीचे हो रही है, ऊपर नीचे हो रही है, बट उसको आदत भी है, ही कैन प्ले मल्टीपल प्लेसेस, वही है ईशान किशन की खूबियत। और आप विकेट कीपिंग भी आप देख लो भाई, विकेट कीपिंग से भी अब डर हो रहा है, नॉट कि एक मैच है, आई गेट इट, बेचारा यंग है, लाइक मुस्तफा गलतियां करेगा, बट इतना कम टाइम है ये इंडियन टीम में गलती करने का, मार्जिन ऑफ एरर बहुत क्लोज है। तो केएल राहुल पीछे खड़ा हुआ है इसके, बेचारा अनफॉर्चुनेटली एक टाइम पे था ईशान किशन वाज द ओनली कीपर, केएस भरत था बट नहीं खिला रहे थे, तो वो सिचुएशन में ठीक है ईशान किशन कैन अफोर्ड टू मेक मिस्टेक्स। अभी केएल राहुल is waiting in the wings and right now अगर अपन देख रहे
But
he
he's always he's your third option. अब unfortunately ऋषभ पंत के साथ ये हो गया था. ऋषभ पंत, KL Rahul will
yeah I
always
mean
have
अब
been
तो
a
अब के हिसाब से yeah of course ऋषभ पंत hopefully but it looks like कि भाई ऋषभ पंत will be making it back so yeah
hopefully, but I don't think he's going to play World Cup. I'm
नहीं
not
नहीं
sure.
he
But
it's 6 months अभी recovery 7 months बोल रहे
what's your team for the World Cup? I can only tell you like a month before the World Cup when the squad is announced. Vinay, how can I tell you when I don't know who the squad is, bro?
What's your team, India? I don't know. अभी तो बहुत time है and what subject to injuries, subject to changes, management calls, बहुत सारा चीज़ है. But yeah, I think we'll have to see towards August or September maybe जब बोल सकते हैं अपन. Don has a team I think already. He says Rohit, Gill, Virat, Shreyas, Sky, Hardik, Jaddu, Chahar, Kuldeep. Chahar को डाल दिए. Kuldeep, Bumrah and Siraj.
I think he went for Chahar because he gives you the batting option also.
Where's Umran,
Uh,
bro?
he went for Bumrah and Siraj because of the thing. Kuldeep because of their
Spin.
experience as well,
Yeah.
and Kuldeep and Jaddu. Yeah, I mean it's a good team. I would probably go Rohit, Gill, Virat, and then at number 4. Oh, he went Sky also.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Shreyas, Sky, Hardik, Jaddu, Chahar. चहर बहुत लंबी बैटिंग है.
डॉन कीपर कौन है भाई आपका?
हाँ वो good question man.
कीपर नहीं दिख रहा मेरे को. Unless I'm mistaken, if you want Sky to keep, I don't know. कीपर बताओ.
Don, I
So,
meant the 15
I'll
World Cup and
Vinay,
India
I
won't
think
have.
I'll have the 3 spinners as the tournament progresses. Probably first game I won't have 3 spinners. I think as tournament
Hmm.
progresses, I'll probably go with the 3 spinners and Hardik as your third pacer. Yeah, I'll definitely look towards that. But in the beginning, maybe not.
Umran
And
Chahal
I
was
want
Shikaya. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
no, and I want someone at the top of the batting order to bowl some part-time spin, whether whoever it is, Shreyas
Shreyas
Iyer
Iyer,
or
come
whoever
on,
it
get
is.
in
Yeah,
there.
want some part-time. Even Rohit Sharma, I think he can. He should roll his arm over.
But
Uh,
Don didn't choose Ashwin, man. That's shocking, huh? घर की बात घर में.
yeah, this is
My Ishan,
Sudhir bhai.
my 11 is Ishan, Gill, Virat, Sanju. Whoa, ho, ho. Hardik
रोहित
Pandya,
शर्मा
Jaddu,
कितने भाई?
Shardul,
कैप्टन
Kulcha.
को ही निकाल
उड़ा
दिया.
उड़ा दिए सुधीर भाई. Next level boss है उन्होंने बोल दिए boss को ही निकाल दो. Kishan unfortunate to miss out. Okay,
Yeah,
but we'll
I
have
think Don has
to.
to bring in KL. Uh, I think KL will have to come in as your keeper
Sky को
instead
हटा
of
दिए
Sky.
Don.
नो अभी केएल राहुल अगर आ गया तो फिर आप क्या करना लाइक आप केएल राहुल देखो आई एम सरप्राइज्ड डॉन विट श्रेयस अय्यर ओवर सूर्य कुमार यादव because I know Don does not like Shreyas Iyer and because he has a weakness of the short ball and I think that can still be exposed in India like he's a very good player of spin so maybe that's why Don is backing him. It's between that I think in your 11 you could go
But
either
also
Shreyas or Surya Kumar.
today's match अगर मैं अपन देखें जिस तरीके से न्यूजीलैंड परफॉर्म करे I like this kind of a temperament from New Zealand when what you were seeing 2 matches ago जहाँ पे डर के पीछे pitch में did you see anything different what they did in the likes of Devin Conway and these guys like I felt for a fact that they were coming more out and more aggressive and trying to give it back to the bowler rather than like staying in that shell that they were in the first 2 ODIs.
Yeah, and I think the wicket was good as well as a slow wicket. There's not much in it for the bowlers. It's small ground, so that like they just had to find the gap, and that's it. It was a boundary. I'm not worried about New Zealand match. I know that it's a poor performance from them. If you tell me to do a review of this, it's a very poor performance from them overall. Season I expected them more to do more. I think they should have won that Hyderabad game if they took their catches and restricted India. They had enough batting to finish that off. Again today also, I wanted them to bat 50 overs more than anything. I think they didn't bat 50 overs. Again, I'm not worried, man. This is an ICC proven team. In the ICC tournament proven team, they'll come from anywhere, man. Whether it's the 2011 World Cup, 15 World Cup, 19 World Cup, they're always in the knockouts. So I'm not worried about New Zealand. Especially when if Kane Williamson is your captain, they will have a formula. He will know exactly when to use who and what to do in these conditions. And they've got exposed to these conditions. The likes of आज को 100 कौन मारा भाई बॉल के साथ Duffy, right? So he's
Yeah.
been exposed to these conditions. Shipley's been exposed, and this will do them good. So I'm not worried about New Zealand. I'm more worried about India, man, because India, the more they win bilaterals, the worse they do in ICC. So that's what I'm worried about.
King होना चाहिए but उसको rest देंगे ना. Yeah, King is rested I think and he's not going to play the T20. सुधीर भाई
Did
बोल
you
रहे
see
हर
what
बैट
Rahul Dravid said?
नहीं I didn't happen to catch that. क्या?
About the split captaincy yesterday? He said there's no such thing as split captaincy. It's just that we're focusing on one day and tests. right now. So that's why Hardik Pandya is leading, which
अब्बा
is a bit, yeah. So I think because the
हर बार बैटिंग से हारते हैं वर्ल्ड कप में, इवन दो शार्दुल
हाँ,
टुक 3 विकेट्स। क्या आपको उस पर कॉन्फिडेंस है? मुझे तो नहीं है, बोल रहे हैं। या स्टिल लॉन्ग वे टू गो। आई थिंक थोड़ी फिटनेस है इशू उसका, एंड ऑब्वियसली उन्हें अच्छा खासा विकेट पिकअप करा आज। ऑब्वियसली फुल टॉस आया, लेथम को जो बॉल डाला था, ही कुड हैव एक्चुअली स्मैश्ड इट, बट किस्मत पड़ी, एंड आई थिंक स्मार्ट बॉल था टू बॉल एज एन ओपनर, फर्स्ट बॉल टू लेथम। बट ओवरऑल अभी उतना कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं है मुझको, बिकॉज ऑफ द साइड दैट न्यूजीलैंड हैड। मे बी अगर कोई स्ट्रॉन्गर अपोनेंट के साथ करते, मे बी इन द लाइक्स ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया, और मे बी इन द लाइक्स ऑफ लाइक a proper full New Zealand squad, then maybe I would have a little bit confidence, but I'm happy that he's get coming back to his weight. So let's see. खत्म, हमारे बॉस बोल दिया
but he
सिराज
was
भाई,
man of
नो
the match
कॉन्फिडेंस।
today. He was
या
the man of
या
the
या
match today. With the bat also is impressive. Shardul
या, he's my
Thakur.
fantasy pick था, इसलिए दे दिया शायद।
Batting and bowling
Ibrahim
was
Bhai makes
very
a good
impressive.
point. He says today India batting in the middle overs has a question mark, as in the World Cup. In these type of conditions against an Australia or in England, they might end it.
Yeah, 100%. It is worrying. That middle over collapse was. I think 500 मारना था भाई, मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि ऐसा situation में अगर आप है, you have to get close to that 450, 500 mark, because you need to play full throttle cricket. You let New Zealand back into the game, and it was risky at one stage. The way Conway was batting in England, New Zealand could have gotten close to the target. So India have to be more ruthless in their approach, especially in World Cups where the pressure is on. Also, like these innings, especially this 300, 400, you only see it in the beginning of the World Cup. When you get closer to the semi-finals, the pitches will deteriorate. Plus, teams will be a bit more, क्या बोलते हैं, so cautious in their approach, and that's why that's where we'll see if India will still be able to play that kind of cricket, that aggressive intent. Will they still be able to do that? That will be their biggest test. KL Rahul को please मत खिलाओ. KL Rahul आ रहा भाई. शादी
KL
कर
will
ले
play,
KL.
man. There's no way KL won't play. अभी देखो, that's the only reason why आज मेरे को KL भरत खेलना को एक opportunity देना था, so that we could see how he is and उसका mindset कैसा है, temperament कैसा है. I'm pretty sure रणजी level पे अच्छा करके, domestic level में अच्छा करके, hence he's got the call up. But I really wanted him to get a chance today. Unfortunately, ईशान किशन को ही पूरा फिर खिला दिया, and I don't see KL Bharat getting an opportunity. He's not even in the T20 squad. जितेश शर्मा को चांस देंगे क्या फर्स्ट T20 में, based on ईशान किशन's performance of the past T20 against Sri Lanka, and this maybe they could give Jitesh Sharma a run, but for me it looks highly unlikely, because again they'll go with that experience factor and probably trying to get more matches under Ishan Kishan's cap.
Yeah, and look, you've done this before. You've done this before with Ambati Raidu, when you backed him, and then you dropped him just before a World Cup, and you gave a Vijay Shankar. It didn't work out. So maybe putting in a KS Bharat or a Jitesh Sharma might not work out either. And that's why Ishan Kishan is still a calculated risk. You could still take that risk, but I wouldn't go too far in with the KS Bharat because they haven't played consistently for India. KL Rahul has played more. Of course, that doesn't mean that he shouldn't perform, and that doesn't mean that he deserves a place or anything like that. But right now, if you look at it, who has really shown that they can play instead of him? Nobody's really shown that, in my opinion. So maybe he'll get another go. In test matches, yes, I feel that it should be KL Rahul and Shubman Gill opening the. I mean, sorry, Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill opening the.
एक बार गिल को नंबर 4 पे खिला, फिर देखते हैं। थोड़ा डॉजी है वो, अगर उनको नंबर 4 पे लेके आएगा, कोहली भी रहेगा उनके साथ, तो दो एंकर्स एक साथ खेलना थोड़ा स्लो हो सकता है, बट द वे गिल हैज बीन परफॉर्मिंग, थोड़ा बहुत उसके बढ़ गया आई थिंक उसका थोड़ा स्ट्राइक रेट बोलो, या वो पावर प्ले के अलावा भी उन्हें अच्छा एक्सेलरेट कर रहा है इनिंग्स को, तो खिला के देख सकते हैं। ईशान किशन के उस पे
I think that's what he's saying.
एडवोकेट सुधीर, हाँ सुधीर भाई।
Yeah, so do you think pitches will deteriorate as 48 matches will be divided across 8 venues in the World Cup? Look, that's a good point. I still feel that there might be some deterioration. There's it's 8 venues. How much? Can you remind me how many venues there were for the last World Cup in England in 2019? And from that basis, I can tell you a bit more accurately. But I think if it's 8 venues, it's still a bit less. Of course, you will have fresh pitches. Not every pitch will be used. Like, and I don't know. I just feel as a tournament goes on anyway, the conditions and everything, getting exposed to the sun or whatever it is, the pitches do slightly deteriorate. But it's a good point. Like maybe it won't deteriorate as much as we're thinking. because I certainly saw in that England, if you remember, Fez, that semi-finals, finals, the pitch
Mhm.
wasn't as good as the first few games. We saw 350, 400 getting scored. England were smashing it. Rashid Khan was going out of the park. But then as the tournament progressed, even that India-New Zealand game, it was a 230 game. India didn't chase
230
for
game.
230. The
Mm.
final as well was a 250, 240, 250 game. The crazy final. So
Two
that I think
240 or 270 something. I think you're right.
so in general, केएल राहुल को अंडरटेकर का वेट जो हनीमून पे नहीं केएल राहुल वापस आ रहे भाई
It's
Infosys
going.
World Cup team Rohit Sharma Shubman Gill King Iyer Kishan Pandya Jaddu Aksar Kuldeep Siraj Umran so you won Aksar Patel and Jadeja and Kuldeep three
Three
left-handers
spinners.
three left-handed spinners I would try to get a righty in there maybe a Sundar in but yeah I mean Jaddu and Aksar are both great but they might be too similar to each other both playing in one game that's one thing that maybe you would like to
भाई
look at.
लेकिन आज इंडिया जीती तो लेकिन मुस्तफा आज सनराइजर्स ईस्टर्न केप हार गई अनफॉर्चुनेटली आई मीन table is getting closer. I mean, I
Those
think
two Miller sixes, man. Those two Miller sixes changed
change
the
the
game.
game.
It was getting close. It was 30 of 18 required. I think Sunrisers pulled things back really well in that chase. After they got
Hmm.
Butler's wicket, they put pressure on the Pal Royals. Like, it was those two Miller sixes that won them the game. You can say in hindsight they're 20 runs short. Like, I felt that they were defending well, but in that ground, it's always difficult to defend, especially when you have the likes of Miller, Butler against you. So that's my summary of the game.
And
Bolo
yeah,
next.
currently Durban Super Giants versus Joburg Super Kings चल रहा है 51 for no loss है 128 of 75 left. Faf and Riza Hendricks are having a very good opening partnership 51 and 7.3. Durban Super Giants
This
में
what do you
Hendrik
think?
Larsen man Mustafa Hendrik Larsen has been performing consistently and I'm very happy because he's going to be hopefully in that Hyderabad squad. And
He's not gonna
65
play.
runs. Wicket keeping option है जी.
Glenn Phillips है मेरे लिए विकेट कीपिंग ऑप्शन लेकिन फैज you talked about Risa Hendricks. Risa
Yeah.
Hendricks, he didn't play in that T20 World Cup because of Bavuma. Do you think like now it's time to move on to him because he's playing well in the SC20, but more than that, he's done really well for South Africa.
Yeah, 100%. Temma Bavuma has not been consistent recently. T20 World Cup, he didn't get a go. Australia ke against he wasn't able. He was probably the only one who stood out a bit, but he didn't make any major runs. Risa Hendricks has been very consistent with the bowling or batting. कुछ तो भी दोनों भी कर ले सकता है. In the first time, he had a very economical spell. I think 0 for 14 या कुछ 4 over में. Say he has good economical spells and also he's a good handy batsman. So they could give him a shout out for now at least over Temba Bavuma.
Hmm. Last three World Cup semi-final, Faz. This is for you.
Last three semi-finals, Virat Kohli scored one run out to left arm pacer every time. Yeah, but like even in the group stages, he has runs right under his belly. I know semi-final is where you want the king to sort of perform at your best, and you want your best players to bat. And I think it's definitely going to be something that Virat Kohli is looking into. We know he likes the challenge, and he is one who assesses himself before anyone. उन्हें वैसा टेम्परामेंट का बंदा है कि उन्हें अपने आप को पहले क्रिटिसाइज कर लेता सीक्रेट में करता खुले में तो कोई नहीं करते बट आई एम प्रीटी श्योर ही इज वर्किंग ऑन दैट एंड होपफुली दिस टाइम इट्स गोना बी डिफरेंट
Champions Trophy final also left arm. Mohammad Aman
या
nikala tha
मोहम्मद
usko.
आमिर निकाला था उसको या
KL Rahul Panoti had 2020 T20 World Cup, 2002 Asia Cup, 2022 T20 World Cup. तीनों टाइम हरवाया उसने इंपॉर्टेंट मैच में उसकी टांगे कांप जाती है फर्स्ट बॉल पर आउट. Let's not forget India chased 274 in 2011 World Cup final. I expect this one to be high scoring. And yeah, but like even if you look at that game, there was a time where Sri Lanka was struggling. India were bowling so well. Zaheer Khan's economy was like 2 or 3. Then Javaddin played a sensational innings to take 270. Then Sri Lanka, the way they started, they got Tendulkar and Sehwag out early. You had a bit of a partnership between Gambhir and Kohli, and then it was that Dhoni innings and that
धोनी
partnership with
innings
Gambhir. It was still like I think you got relief in the 40th over. Until then, it was still a stressful match. So you can say that maybe a bit of dew might have helped or was high scoring, but it was still a cagey game. It wasn't like a very comfortable thing. And India defended 260 in Mohali against Pakistan, 260, 270. It was again not a high scoring game. But that was also 10 years ago. I think 260, 270, that time you take it. Right now, it's all about 300s.
ये मोनार्की कब खत्म होगी कोहली की बार बार किंग 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 um आई थिंक कोहली जिस तरीके का प्लेयर है सुधीर भाई, एंड आई थिंक आप भी एक्सेप्ट करोगे, आई अंडरस्टैंड आप जो बात कर रहे हो कि यू वांट हिम टू परफॉर्म इन द बिग स्टेज, एंड ही हैज मल्टीपल ओकेजन्स पे ही गॉट अस बैक फ्रॉम द डेड। आप T20 वर्ल्ड कप में भी देखो, ही वाज द ओनली वन हु स्टूड आउट। आप मल्टीपल ओकेजन्स पे, इवन आई थिंक 2015 में ही वाज pretty good, and I mean semi-final में he didn't do anything again, but like uh, Kohli is Kohli. You can't, I think, take him out of the game. It's India is a republic country, not monarchy. It's a democratic country, and everyone has a say, and everybody can do anything. So I think that's why they're getting Kohli in.
uh, in 2019 they used 11 venues. So then look, Ibrahim, by 11 venues you still saw deterioration, right? So I'm sure, like there will be, it won't be as bad as like I'm saying, lekin there will be some slight, and it will, I think, get a bit slower. Every World Cup I've seen that, like apart from that, maybe New Zealand semi-final, I didn't see any deterioration over there. In New Zealand, the games, I didn't see any deterioration in that World Cup, but in Australia and in what's it called, in England and India, I've seen deterioration. So I'm expecting that, but only time will tell. Ben Stokes is
Ben
Kingslayer.
Stokes, Ben
Ben Stokes
Stokes
is the best
performed in
all-rounder in the world.
Ben
He's the
Stokes
best all-rounder
performed
in
in
the world.
crunch situation. I'll give it to him in that manner. And also, देख लो आप, in terms of a Virat Kohli and in terms of a Ben Stokes, अगर आप team wise देखे, who was Ben Stokes have around him and who did Virat Kohli have around him, right? Virat Kohli was a single person who stood out in his team. I don't think apart from him anyone was standing out consistently. 2016 से डाल के देख लो. Ben Stokes के आया गया obviously वो एक चीज है. Then you have the
नहीं
likes
वो
of
देखो, मैं पहली बार मैं तुम्हारे रोक दूंगा बिकॉज ये कंपैरिजन नहीं है. लाइक यू कैन कंपेयर बेन स्टोक्स एंड हार्दिक पांड्या, यू कांट कंपेयर, दे
yeah.
टू डिफरेंट प्लेयर्स, ओके? एंड Virat Kohli also had exceptional players. Ben Stokes had exceptional players around him. So like there's no, but like this argument is like, it's not going to, you can't compare Ben Stokes and Virat Kohli, but you can have your opinion. Maybe he likes Ben Stokes, you like Virat Kohli.
Yeah, no,
Lekin they're two
नहीं
different
he's
players. You
नहीं
can't.
नहीं I understand सुधीर भाई point. सुधीर भाई point ये बोल रहे हैं कि भाई जब Ben Stokes is one who is the finisher, उन्हें आपको क्रंच में जिता रहा, कोहली
अलग है,
का जो
आप हार्दिक
पॉइंट
से
लाए,
कंपेयर
हाँ
करो उसको, उसको हार्दिक से कंपेयर करो.
नहीं, but I think in terms of seniority या tenuity के हिसाब से जा रहे हैं. I think that's how he's going, and he's also saying भाई
Different
who's
players.
he's basically who's the main player of England in a crunch situation? Ben Stokes. Who's the main player of crunch situation? You would expect Kohli to do that, right? I think that's how he's looking at it. उन इस जरिए से जा रहे हैं, but
आप देखो
देखो
विराट कोहली का
each
भी,
to his own. हाँ yeah.
उसमें मैं आपको बताता हूँ, विराट कोहली आपको कितने मैचेस जिताए चेसिंग करते हुए, राइट? बड़े गेम में भी, ठीक है, सेमीफाइनल नहीं मारा उन्हें, मैं भी मानता हूँ, मैं भी ये पॉइंट आउट करा फैस को कि भाई ही डिड नॉट परफॉर्म इन द सेमीफाइनल, बट व्हाट लाइक हाउ मेनी टाइम्स डिड ही, 183 नॉट आउट, this 70 80 against Pakistan recently, 130 against Sri Lanka, and he's batting at number 3 and finishing off games for you. Whereas batsmen like Ben Stokes, Hardik Pandya, their job is to finish. Virat Kohli's job is not to finish, but he still finishes games for you. It's completely different argument and everything. You can say whatever you want, yes, but if there will be a time where there's going to be a semi-final and you want Virat Kohli to step up. I understand his point from there.
Yeah,
but
that's what.
To say that he's, to say that like nahi hai, bada match lacking nahi hai, like that's up to you. Like, but I think he is great player. एक बार तो बेन स्टोक्स तो मुस्तफा भाई के साथ मिलके ऑस्ट्रेलिया को हराया मेरे हाँ, वो जो मैच था उसमें भी थोड़ा सा लक था, लेकिन वाज ग्रेट. एक वैसे एक ऑलराउंडर कंपेयर बनता नहीं है. आई एग्री हेटिंगली मैन. Where New Zealand were 9 wickets down, India was easily winning. Kuldeep gave unfortunate boundaries. Rohit was still angry and worried as if team was losing. What is wrong with this captaincy? You want me to answer it?
I'm reading the question. When New Zealand were 9 wickets down and India was easily winning, Kuldeep gave unfortunate one. I was still angry and worried I mean, देखो भाई, he won't want, as a captain, I understand that where he's coming from. He would want to be more clinical. He doesn't want to, and this is exactly the situation that we're trying to avoid, right? आप अगर consistently देख लो साई भाई, जब मैच अपने हाथ में रहता, this is what happens with India. India suddenly go into this phase of overconfidence and start giving out boundaries, start leaking runs. काफी ये लोग कैजुअल हो जाते फील्ड में, काफी कैजुअल रिलैक्स टेम्परामेंट, लौंडपना बोलते हैं हैदराबादी, मस्खरापना एंड स्टफ. यू कांट अफोर्ड दीस रन्स ना. इफ यू वांट टू गेट अ गुड a hold on these the other opposition's mindset, you have to start being more clinical in those situations where guarantee victory है. Finish off the match, do whatever you want to do, but you can't international level पे आप ऐसे boundaries दे दिए, it's not going to happen.
I think a lot of the Indian audience, especially people who grew up in the 2008-9 era, they're very used to I don't know who's lost me.
अटक
You.
गया आप मुस्तफा भाई. आई थिंक दिस कमबैक you've just gone ahead. बट या मेरे हिसाब से तो ऐसे ही दिख रहा हूँ मैं कि भाई अगर आप 9 डाउन है, फिनिश इट ऑफ, डू वट एवर यू वांट, बट ये बाउंड्रीज लीक करना, फिर वो टेल लंबी होती, फिर एक वजह, फिर आप वापस अपन एज व्यूवर्स आएंगे और ये बोलेंगे कि भाई ये टेल खत्म क्यों नहीं हो रही, राइट? सो आई थिंक रोहित शर्मा जस्ट ट्राइंग टू गेट दैट टेम्परामेंट इंस्टिल्ड कि भाई टेल रन दो, 9 रन दो, 10 रन दो, रिस्पेक्ट द ऑपोजिशन एंड फिनिश द जॉब ऑफ. या मुझसे आ गया वापस.
Yeah, no, I think people are too used to the MS Dhoni time, right? When he didn't show any anger. He used to probably get angry, he used to say stuff to his players, but he didn't show it. So people are Virat Kohli का भी यही criticism था कि भाई बहुत he loses his calm, he's not
Apart from
composed.
Dhoni,
So
every
ये
Indian
सब
captain was animated. Ganguly used to chew his nails. उसके पहले आई थिंक अगर उसके बाद देख रहे विराट कोहली का एग्जांपल अभी दिए.
maybe that's why Dhoni is the most successful one out of them, the most successful one. Maybe that's
Ganguly
why
was pretty successful.
didn't win a trophy. He won a shared
Almost.
trophy, Champs trophy. But I'm not comparing. I'm just saying maybe that's why. Maybe that's why people say that he be like that because Dhoni has won you trophies. Whereas Ganguly, I think I did Ganguly very highly as a captain. But again, people look at trophies, they look at success. So when you're going to look at success, Dhoni. What are you looking at Dhoni's attributes? He's calm and composed. So that's why people make that comparison.
Yeah. इंडिया की जगह आज इंग्लैंड होता तो 400 मारता इंडिया, एक विकेट बाद डिफेंस में चल जाता है, इंग्लैंड नहीं जाती. इंडिया फिर भी एक्सेलरेट कर रहे थे. हमें थोड़ा ऑब्वियसली बॉल सोक इन करे क्योंकि दो नए बैट्समैन थे अंशुल भाई, बट उसके अलावा दे कुड हैव प्रॉब्ली गॉन टू 400 आराम से. बट फिर एकदम से भी आप देख लो न्यूजीलैंड बॉलिंग भी अच्छी करी थी, सही एरियाज में गिरा रहे थे, विकेट्स एकदम ड्रॉप होने की वजह से मोमेंटम लूज हो गया इंडिया की. वरना अगर लाइक लेट्स से कोहली एंड रोहित रहता है, कोहली शुभमन रहता, अलग होता सिचुएशन. बट ईशान किशन एंड कोहली नए बैट्समैन थे, कोई अपसेट होने में टाइम लगा, फिर उठते उसमें देन अच्छा रिडेम्पशन हुआ ये न्यूजीलैंड बॉलिंग की तरफ से. सो यू हैव टू क्रेडिट न्यूजीलैंड ओवर देयर आई थिंक फॉर द थिंग. बट एंड में फिर इंडिया sort of pulled it back with हार्दिक पांड्या. So yeah, it was like more of a seesaw kind of a situation.
आपके लिए सवाल है.
ये हार्षा भोगले चाय चांद बिस्किट बोलते, क्या होता है ये? चांद बिस्किट एक बिस्किट है हैदराबाद में, मशहूर है. लाइक एंड उस्मानिया बिस्किट के उस्मानिया बिस्किट एक मशहूर है हैदराबाद में. एक चांद बिस्किट है, चांद के शेप में रहता है, तो वो यूजुअली चाय के साथ एंड लाइक फाइन. आई थिंक ओवर 100 टाइप्स ऑफ बिस्किट्स है हैदराबाद में. फाइन बिस्किट ले लो
मिठा
आप,
होता
चाय
है वो.
बिस्किट. यस, थोड़ा स्वीट रहता है चांद बिस्किट. उस्मानिया बिस्किट इज नॉट स्वीट, इट्स मोर लाइक दैट. सॉल्ट बिस्किट रहता है, एक आलमंड बिस्किट रहता है, हजार तरीके के बिस्किट है. कभी आप हैदराबाद आए तो डेफिनेटली खिलाएंगे आपको सुधीर भाई. And this is
what
the
about
point I'm trying to.
chocolate? Hoy.
Chips away, that's all fancy stuff, bro. Because we lost to Bangladesh for not taking that last wicket, if you're exactly, and Mehdi Hasan Miraj belted us, so yeah, 100%. I think this is yeah. I think Osmania Biscuit salt and sweet, just like your attitude. I think Doctor. No animated captain has won a World Cup. Oh, I don't know how Kapil Dev was. I don't know how
Ricky
Kapil Dev
Ponting
was.
was.
I'll have to ask
Ricky
my
Ponting
dad
was
and Mustafa's
animated.
dad.
Ricky Ponting was animated.
रिपकॉन ईटिंग च्युइंगम चबाता था, दांत घस के पागल हो जाता था.
Man,
और
he
कौन
had
है?
a world class team, man. What a team, man. Next level. मगर फिर भी वैसा इतने ईगोस के साथ आपको संभालना मुश्किल है. Like it's still not an easy job to captain that kind of team. सब एक दूसरे को like दे देते हैं. Everyone thinks they're better than the other, so it's not easy to उन्हें सबको लेके चला Ricky Ponting. But he was animated, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was animated and rightfully so. I mean, कभी-कभी animation अच्छा भी है, to just give a little bit of a stern look instead of being always cool. I mean, I like Dhoni, I love Dhoni, and Dhoni is the best for me. But yeah, I mean, हर आदमी का personality अलग है. Mustafa might be a serious or a happy captain, or either way, I might be a different captain. आप अलग captain है, सबका अलग tactic.
But
And
वो हाँ
to
बिल्कुल
get to the player, it's a different kind of a way. I think वही है.
बिल्कुल. मगर यही है राइट. आप जब एग्जांपल देते हैं सक्सेस का, फिर वही फॉलो करते हैं लोग, इसलिए लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं. तो यू हैव टू लाइक आई मीन बट यू आर राइट. लाइक एवरीबody is different, you can't do anything. What else are you here for?
What?
You remember that? It's from the 83 World Cup. Kapil Dev
I,
said
I,
that we're here to
I didn't
win.
happen to watch that movie yet.
He said we are here to win. What else are you
अच्छा, in
here
that press
for?
conference वाला scene, I think this was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
हार्दिक की कैप्टनसी का टेस्ट है न्यूजीलैंड गुड टीम T20. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a decent
very
test, I would say.
decent team.
It's a
I think Glenn
decent
Phillips
test.
has expectations there. Glenn Phillips is a T20 specialist along with, I think, Bracewell and these guys. It'll be a good thing.
अगर पॉन्टिंग ऐसा गुस्सा करता तो बॉलर वही मारता उसको। देखो सुधीर भाई, अब हमको नहीं मालूम मारते नहीं मारते थे, मगर पॉन्टिंग आता था गुस्से में, लेकिन उन्हें बोलता था। लेकिन वो भी सही है कि उनके पास बड़े पर्सनालिटीज थे, थोड़ा देख के करना पड़ता था। रोहित शर्मा कभी ही लूजेस स्कूल, मगर आप ये भी देखो कि रोहित शर्मा और विराट कोहली पे 10 टाइम्स ज्यादा प्रेशर है। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल बिकॉज अब इंडिया के लिए खेल रहे बिलियन लोग हैं, फिर आपके
सोशल मीडिया आ गया।
हाँ, और सोशल मीडिया का ईरा है, फिर ऑपोजिशन टीम्स और ऑपोजिशन मीडिया भी स्क्रूटनाइज करते। इफ इंडिया लूज दैट वर्ल्ड कप, एवरी दैट्स ब्रेकिंग न्यूज इन
Yeah,
पाकिस्तान, इज
they
ब्रेकिंग
are
न्यूज इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया,
100%.
इंग्लैंड, एवरीवेयर। इट्स नॉट ओनली ब्रेकिंग न्यूज इन इंडिया। So
Yeah,
that's the thing, right? India is in the on the scandal, and with social media, like Faiz said, there's a lot of accessibility now. Anybody can criticize, anybody can say things, so there's a lot of pressure. तो उस हिसाब से शायद
100%.
ये रिएक्शन नेचुरल हो जाता है। Whether it's right or wrong, that is for you to decide. Everybody can have your opinion, no problem. मगर ये तो होने वाला है, pressure तो आना था, गुस्से में आने वाले हैं। Like it's like everybody does lose their cool. Of course, you don't like it. Suppose if Fez my captain, he shouts at me, I'm not gonna like it, and nobody will like that. You can say that I should grow up and everything. That's fine, but yeah, nobody likes it. Like, but you have to also understand if he's in that
where he's
position, he's also someone's shouting at him, also
exactly
someone's criticizing him, also. तो वैसा देखना
where
पड़ता है।
it's coming from, what time it's coming from, perspective. काफी चीजें इसमें आ जाते हैं. I think
Yeah,
that's
and how he
rightfully
deals with it in the dressing room. How does he
exactly.
have? Rohit Sharma, I heard, has an open door policy. People can go into his room, talk to him, and everything. Apparently, Virat Kohli didn't have that. I don't know exactly, but this is what certain reports were mentioning, and it was revealed at that time. So if he does have open door policy, and people can go tell them by Rohit bhai kyun gusse mein hai mere saath, and then he explains. If you have that conversation, then I think it's healthy. If you not talk, for example, if me and you don't talk and I suddenly shout at you, then it becomes a bit weird. But if I talk to you every single day, I can explain to you, कि भाई, this is why I shouted at you. It's easier.
Yeah, I guess.
ओहो, हम भी है जोश में, हाँ देकर होश में, यूं आंखें मिला, बताओ।
प्रज्वल भाई says please clear one mystery a lot short because शार्दुल ठाकुर को मैं फैंटेसी पिक लिया था तो शार्दुल भाई took it as a नहीं खैर honestly he's working hard प्रज्वल भाई उसको थोड़े 2 मैचेस मिल गए थे I think he's starting to understand rhythm and line and also batting में अच्छा काफी करा थोड़ा टाइम दो भाई थोड़ा वेट इशू है थोड़ा he'll get back into fitness game time सब मिल रहा है उसको hopefully it becomes a stronger asset for us yes मुस्तफा भाई
No, I think I'll have to go back and come. मेरा बैटरी जा रहा, बात कर।
तुम्हारा बैटरी जा रहा है या एयरपोर्ट्स के
नहीं मेरा।
airports okay, my bad so anyway coming back to the thing Prajul bhai, yeah so it's good Tanas Anjum thank you for joining us I think Dr. Foodie has again marketed us thank you Dr. Bhai Dr. Bhai Ahmed Bhai who else is here whoever is here because of Dr. Foodie Dr. Saab thank you so much I think आप message में लिखे होंगे you know but people are unfortunately revealing but again thank you 100 times for your support as always attendance please थैंक यू ताज भाई फॉर कमिंग होपफुली आप लोग लाइक सब्सक्राइब शेयर करिए अपने लोगों के साथ हम लोग भी हैदराबाद से हैं फ्रॉम डॉक्टर साहब सिटी फ्रॉम डॉक्टर साहब का भी
कोने में हैदराबाद में कोई कौन
अब तो हाँ तो
कोने में आ रही है आवाज
अभी हाँ आ रही अब बैटरी निकाल दिया आप अपनी
नहीं मैं
व्हाट
बोल
अ
रहा
फुल
था।
टॉस अरे फुल टॉस भाई वो चक्रव्यूह वाला एक इकबाल में एक बॉल डालता है अब इकबाल मूवी था जो चक्रव्यूह डालता स्लो फुल टॉस डाल के बोल्ड करता यूं आई थिंक उसका ही डिलीवरी फ्रॉम नॉट तो वो वाला
शार्दुल
बॉल
ठाकुर
था
का यही है, मगर फैज शार्दुल ठाकुर का यही है, उन्हें ऐसे बॉला डाल देता कि भाई हम समझ में नहीं आता, ये तो छक्का होना चाहिए, फिर मिस टाइम से बॉल लग जाता बिकॉज ही कीप्स वेरिंग स्पेस, ही चेंजेस लाइन एंड लेंथ, तो ऑन अ बैड बॉल ही कैन गेट अ विकेट, इसलिए उन्हें विकेट लेता है। लाइक ही सडनली नकल बॉल डाल देता, फुल टॉस पे भी मिल जाता बिकॉज स्पेस इज चेंज्ड, then his length changes, it can be a short one, but उसमें थोड़ा सा fast होता है, तो it's different variations that he does which makes him very successful, so that's why he picks up wickets, and he is expensive because he bowls a lot of bad balls as well.
Bad balls, yeah. But I think with time and a lot of game time under his hat, maybe I'm expecting inshallah कि उसको rhythm आ जाएगी वापस and he'll be able to be a stronger player. Because batting wise, he does add depth. He did have a handy 25 today. तो yeah, that's how I'm saying. डॉक्टर साहब thank you again. मुस्तफा भाई डॉक्टर साहब फिर कुछ उंगली करे I think Instagram पे और काफी लोग
शुक्रिया
आ
भाई,
रहे. Thank you so much.
शुक्रिया बहुत बहुत। मैं यही पूछना था जो, बिकॉज आई थिंक अगर काफी लोग डॉग साहब के वजह से आए तो उनसे पूछना ये था कि इंडोर में क्या खाना मशहूर है वहाँ पे, व्हाट इज द स्पेशलिटी डिश इन इंदौर? I don't know, so I want you to let me know what it is. Till then I can do the cricketing comments. रोहित के पास 10 टाइम ज्यादा पैसे, so 10 टाइम ज्यादा pressure. अब देखो मगर प्रेशर तो प्रेशर होता तो रिएक्शन तो प्रेशर से ही आएगा राइट लाइक पैसे तो चुप नहीं रहता बंदा लाइक पैसे तो और लाइक इट्स नथिंग टू डू इट्स नॉट रिलेटेड टू मनी ओवर देयर ठीक है मैं
Yeah.
मानता हूँ कि देर पेड वेरी वेल इंडियन क्रिकेटर्स मैं नहीं मना कर रहा हूँ लेकिन प्रेशर तो आएगा राइट फॉर श्योर आप देख लो मेसी भी चिढ़ जाता क्रिस्टियानो रोनाल्डो भी चिढ़ जाते जब प्रेशर ऑन है कोई भी उसमें आ सकता है देयर इज ओनली वेरी फ्यू हु कैन कीप कंपोज्ड एंड दैट्स व्हाई दे आर ऑन अनदर लेवल दैट्स व्हाई दे आर सो सक्सेसफुल
बिल्कुल. Yeah.
तो वही है
Fair
एथम
point.
was not prepared
Was
for a
not
full
prepared
toss.
for a full toss. He was expecting a
तो
better.
यही है कभी उसको अंडररेट कर देते कभी वो कर देते उन्हें विकेट्स देता हमेशा विकेट्स देता I've seen him plenty of times getting spanked for like 7-8 runs in over but he picks
But
up
then
4-5.
yeah,
He's
I agree with this.
oscillator
Yeah.
sometimes he bowls a quicker one he keeps changing things up but he bowls a lot of bad deliveries that's why he does
Yeah,
does
maybe
well.
he's just trying to act like उसको नहीं आता and he's hustling people पर maybe पागल बना के उन्हें विकेट ले ले रहा नहीं आता भाई मेरे को फिर जिप बोल के जबरदस्त बॉल डाल के विकेट ले लेता so yeah I mean Shardul Thakur is good but he can get better hopefully but Musa as we are talking Johannesburg running away with the match right now for there I think 93 for no loss 86 of 49 left Durban not able to get a wicket yet.
Durban not able to get a wicket and they've been
I'm worried
not
for SRH. Yeah, sorry, Mr. Yeah. Yeah,
No,
what?
no, I was just saying that Durban Super Giants have not been informed. They've not been playing thing. Even I was watching John T. Rhodes' interview today with Zainab Abbas during the game, and he was also saying, "Yeah, we need to start clicking now. It's been a while since we, won and played some good cricket, so they are under pressure a bit."
Sai said, I'm worried for Sunrisers Hyderabad. Some players are not in form. Philip Sundar, Umran, Markram, Mustafa Bhai. अच्छा मैं मुस्तफा भाई भी प्लेयर है समझ रहा हूँ मुस्तफा भाई कुछ पिलाओ इनको मुस्तफा भाई क्या पिला रहे भाई
Chorba.
शोरबा नहीं नीलोफर की चाय पिलाएंगे बॉयज को बिकॉज नीलोफर पीते के बॉयज
मगर
एक्साइटेड हो जाएंगे फिलिप
हैदराबाद में नहीं रहता जब जिद्दा में पैदा हुआ तो मैं शोरबा पिलाऊंगा तुम पिला लो चाय
आप गावा पिलाओ भाई शोरबा के को पिलाते
नहीं
बट
शोरबा रमजान के टाइम पे शोरबा पीते हैं हम लोग तो अब वो रमजान के टाइम पे आईपीएल रहेगा तो इफ्तार के टाइम मैच शुरू होता है तो शोरबा पिलाएंगे आप डॉक्टर फूडी बोल तो डू यू एग्री विद मी और डू यू एग्री विद फैज मैं शोरबा पिलाऊंगा नो नीलो
Dr. Fudi will never agree with Dr. Fudi will never agree with me, so we agree with
I'm
you
worried for SR.
automatically.
No, so I'm not really worried if I just answer the question. I think there's still time. There's still time for the IPL. Let's see what happens during the IPL. कैसे pitches रहते हैं कुछ भी हो सकता है भाई anyone can catch form during the IPL let's see what Tripathi is also there there's a lot of players Agarwal we don't know what he's going to bring it's still time let's see what happens during the IPL that's all I would say but yes
Hopefully.
they're not in 100% form sorry
I think Rohit was being cautious as if same happens in the World Cup and you got teams in a similar situation and then they get boundaries like that in it can cause net run rate which could be a exactly that's what I'm saying you need to finish better agar ek loose end rakhe then that comes to haunt us as always and yeah you need to just be more clinical and finish off the games चिराग भाई बुमराह नहीं जीतेगा वर्ल्ड कप लॉर्ड की फुल टॉस ही जीतेगी खत्म सुधीर भाई काफी कॉन्फिडेंस में दिखते हुए शार्दुल ठाकुर के ऊपर बेहतरीन केएल राहुल की शादी अटेंड नहीं करे होंगे शायद सब फिर नहीं करे भाई कोई रुखा नहीं दिया स्मॉल स्मॉल फंक्शन था ओनली फैमिली
is it me or is it all of them have the same dress when the thing Virat Kohli had a similar dress and all these guys have similar dress
कौन सी की
like
चाची बनाते ना अच्छा सभ्या साची का की बनाते वहीं जाते पूरे तो आई थिंक वही होगा पैटर्न
मनीष मल्होत्रा नहीं बनाते
मनीष मल्होत्रा नहीं बताते भाई उन्होंने करण जोहर के साथ रहते बुमराह टू नो बॉल पे विकेट
तो अगर
लेता है
करण जोहर की शादी
उससे
हुई तो
बेटर
फिर
ही
कौन
फुल
बनाएगी?
टॉस उन्हें बनाएगा मनीष मल्होत्रा टिट फॉर टैट बुमराह टू नो बॉल पे लेता है उससे बेटर फुल टॉस ही एग्जैक्टली बट बुमराह तो भाई स्पेशलिस्ट है सो यू वोंट वांट टू मेस विद हिम ये रीजा हेंड्रिक्स को बोलो टेस्ट 9th फेब से है अच्छा इज प्लेइंग स्लो आई थिंक हेज 2.0 आ गया है क्या अंशुल भाई ही इज इन स्पेक्टेकुलर फॉर्म बेहतरीन भैरिया मार रहा है ओवर एंड आउट कंसिस्टेंटली ही इज बीन गेटिंग आई थिंक 99 पे था उसका लास्ट पारी 1 रन से उसका 100 चुक गया बट या हेज मुस्तफा ही इज बीन कमिंग बैक रिडेम्पशन हो गया बॉय का
yeah 100% he's been crazy man and credit to Butler and
फैज भाई इफ्तार में रूह अफ़ज़ा ठंडा होता है भाई सुधीर भाई मुस्तफा बोलेंगे आपको रूह अफ़ज़ा के बारे में बिकॉज़ ही लव्स रूह अफ़ज़ा and he loves something जो सऊदी में मिलता it's called Vimto Mustafa is a very big fan and I think he'll share you his recipe Mustafa go for it
it's too different I mean Vimto is completely different to Ruh Afza
yeah but it's the same like it's
I love ruafza with milk, man. I'm a big fan. I had it in Canada a lot. So when I वहाँ पे जब इफ्तार करता था, I used to have ruafza with milk. I love ruafza with milk. Vimto is again syrup. You can पानी के साथ. If we get the concentrated bottle, put it in. Put some cold water. If you want, put ice and you drink it. I have without ice, but Vimto it quenches the thirst, or it just feels good more than anything. I don't think it really
But
quenches the
ruafza,
thirst.
usually, Sudhir, just to answer your question, a whole it is thanda mostly. या तो आप पानी में बना लो, आप दूध में बना लो. Okay, bye. That is Dr. Foodie's title. Okay, bye. Yeah, Shadab Khan also married yesterday to Sakhlain Mushtaq, अच्छा daughter. I got confused over there. Sorry. अरे खुदरत का निजाम, baby.
Yeah, he mentioned there's no photos and everything you have to understand and stuff, but he got married. I was surprised, really happy for him. He commented on Haris Rav's photo a month ago when Haris Rav got married कि भाई ऐसा लगा मैं भी शादी कर लूँ तो हो गया वैसा. So congratulations to him and to the whole family. He is a married man now. सबके शादियां हो रहे हैं. Very good, very happy news. Reception after IPL because we all know Raquel Rahul performance का अच्छी रहती है. हनीमून भी आईपीएल के टाइम ही होगा. फैज भाई बात हुई क्या सोफिया
हाँ
से?
बोलो भाई. भाई सोफिया को छोड़ रहे इसने. सोफिया सिर्फ मेरी है बोल रहे. बट मैं जो सोफिया से बात करे सुधीर भाई से, फॉर्चुनेटली इंस्टाग्राम पे मेरी थोड़ी बहुत लाइक ही फॉलोड मी एंड आई वाज वेरी लकी दैट जो सोफिया से बात करे सुधीर भाई स्टूप डाउन टू अ लोकल पर्सन लाइक मी एंड गिव अप द ब्लू टिक्स वेरीफाइड अकाउंट से छोड़ के मेरे को फॉलो करे. सो आई एम ग्रेटफुल फॉर दैट सुधीर भाई. इब्राहिम भाई ठंड नहीं निकली रही फेस की सिंगल रह के. आई थिंक बैक इन द डे एक रूल था याद है मुस्तफा. आई थिंक नो गर्लफ्रेंड्स एंड वाइव्स एंड लाइक बिफोर द मैच और समथिंग कुछ ऐसा कुछ रूल निकाला था. आई थिंक वाज ग्रेग चैपल और वन ऑफ द कोचेस. आई थिंक गैरी कर्स्टन. आई एम नॉट श्योर के जो बोला था
आई नो
आईसीसी
इंग्लैंड के
टूर्नामेंट.
साथ था वो. आई डोंट नो इंडिया के साथ भी था शायद. आई एम नॉट
इंडिया
श्योर.
के साथ भी आई थिंक if I'm मे बी इंग्लैंड को मैं कंफ्यूज कर. आई एम नॉट श्योर. वन ऑफ द टीम्स हैज दिस पॉलिसी दैट नो नथिंग बिफोर द थिंग. आई थिंक युवराज सिंह का कुछ फनी इंसिडेंट था समवेयर देयर. बट या गिल वन टेस्ट में ड्रॉप नहीं होना चाहिए. केएल राहुल को किडनैप करवा दो फर्स्ट टेस्ट में. देखते हैं व्हाट द डिसीजन राहुल द्रविड़ टेक्स, रोहित शर्मा टेक्स. आई थिंक रोहित शर्मा लाइक्स शुभमन गिल एंड अभी जिस हिसाब से उसकी कॉन्फिडेंस है. बट आई होप लेट्स सी. ये क्या मुस्तफा भाई कंप्लेन आ गई आपकी. फाइल भाई मुस्तफा भाई रिक्वेस्ट एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर. क्या मुस्तफा भाई ऐसा कर रहे हैं आप? दैट्स बैड ब्रो.
इंस्टाग्राम पे. मैं इंस्टाग्राम पे अच्छा मैं देख लेता हूँ. मैं नहीं देखा. आई विल चेक इट आउट. और के कमेंट आप मिस कर दिए.
भाई हम तो हिंदू हैं, हमें कोई नहीं यारो. सुधीर भाई आप आओ हमारे पास कभी भी आओ भाई. इफ्तार में इफ आई एम डेफिनेटली इन इंडिया एंड इफ यू आर इन हैदराबाद एनी टाइम भाई. घर आपका है. सराखों
या
पे इफ्तार किया, डिनर
हम
लंच
लोग
सहरी जो करना चाह रहे ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं. हमारे काफी
कनाडा में
दोस्त
भी हम लोग
मेरे
इफ्तार
साथ.
पूरे मल्टीपल रिलीजन्स हम लोग सब बैठ के इफ्तार करते. इट्स अ लॉट ऑफ फन
100%.
मैन.
भाई वो
इट्स जस्ट
मुंबई में भी आप देखो बाबा सिद्दीकी भी सबको बुलाते. देखो बाबा सिद्दीकी की भी इफ्तार पार्टी रहती है. भाई कभी भी आप आइए आपका घर. जो खाते हैं आप बोलो. आई मीन डेफिनेटली वील अरेंज दैट इफ वी कैन.
दही बड़े.
ऐसा कुछ भी
ओहो
नहीं है.
दही बड़े.
अब किसी को भूख लग रही है ऑन अ लाइव शो. पठान देखने जा रहे. ओहो मुस्तफा भाई तो बहुत एक्साइटेड है पठान के रिलीज के लिए. एंड या आई थिंक हम लोग जाएंगे. आई एम नॉट श्योर मुस्तफा भाई के ऊपर है इफ यू वांट्स टू गो इफ यू डजंट वांट टू गो. बट ही
मेरे
इज प्रीटी
ऊपर
एक्साइटेड.
बोल तो अगर मेरे ऊपर है तो 100% जाएंगे. मेरे ऊपर तो 100%. मगर मेरे ऊपर नहीं रहते काफी चीजें. भाई का नवाब साहब का पूरा स्केड्यूल देखना पड़ता. उसके बाद फिर मालूम होता कि जा सकते क्या टाइम पे. कल जा सकते या परसों जाने पड़े. हम
कभी
तो
भी जा
रेडी है.
सकते हैं भाई. पठान हम भी पठान है थोड़े. मम्मी के साइड से पठान है तो
डायलॉग बोल दो.
डेफिनेटली
डायलॉग एक
जाएंगे.
बार.
मेरे को याद नहीं कौन सा डायलॉग है.
अरे यार शायद जो उन्हें बोल था
मैं नहीं
पठान के
देखता
घर
हूँ
में.
ट्रेलर्स. आई हेट वाचिंग ट्रेलर्स मैन. ट्रेलर्स पूरा आधी मूवी दिख जाती है ट्रेलर्स में. इससे अच्छा आई अवॉइड ट्रेलर्स मैन. आई डोंट लाइक इट.
अच्छा
सो नो.
like that, huh?
Let's go Pathan. I still like don't know man. I'm apprehensive about Pathan. It might not work. But let's see. मत देखो मुस्तफा भाई टाइम वेस्ट होना है. इससे बढ़िया वाइकिंग्स देख लो. वाइकिंग्स से बढ़िया सोफिया को देख लो. वो रहे आप नॉटी गाय.
मेरे को बॉलीवुड बहुत पसंद भाई. मैं काफी देखा मूवीज. वो बहुत देखा यार. जीरो बहुत ऑलमोस्ट हो गया था. आई सॉ दैट इन द थिएटर. इफ आई कैन सी दैट आई कैन सी दिस. आई लाइक वाचिंग
बॉलीवुड तो मैं तो जाऊंगा भाई, मेरे को पसंद केजीएफ का रिकॉर्ड तोड़
KGF,
सकते हैं।
nahi bhai, KGF was another level movie. I think Anshul, bhai, KGF was a very good movie. The part one and part two equally were good. So KGF is a little bit good. Let's see, better. I mean, at this point, but शाहरुख खान की जो brand value है next to no one है. So शाहरुख खान यहाँ पे भी काफी branding करे, सऊदी में भी branding करे. And yeah, let's just see. अभी
तुम वो
hopefully there are
देखे
no
उन
blockages
लोग
doing
रील्स
movie.
बनाए क्या नाम है, अली खान जो अमेरिका का जो फास्ट बॉलर है, ही इज प्लेइंग फॉर द नाइट राइडर्स, राइट, अबू धाबी नाइट राइडर्स,
Hmm.
सो दे डिड अ रील टुडे वेटिंग फॉर पठान बोल के, सो दे नो हाउ टू प्रमोट इट मैन, दे नो
Yeah,
एग्जैक्टली
yes.
कैसा
That guy's a
प्रमोट, ही इज
genius, man.
क्रेजी।
Shahrukh Khan is a genius.
अरे उन्हें कपिल शर्मा पे नहीं आया है ये वीकेंड प्रमोट करने?
Apparently, there was something about him not coming to Big Boss also, and to Kapil Sharma. I think that is
अरे
also making
यार बिग
news, man.
बॉस भी नहीं आया है।
Whatever this guy does, it makes news, man. So that बड़े भाई बड़े बाता नहीं देखते कते ट्रेलर डॉक्टर फूडी कुछ बोलो कहीं को बोलना भाई यार ये मेरा बिकॉज देखो डॉन एवरीथिंग आजकल मेन सीन दिखा देते यार ट्रेलर में, देन मजा नहीं आता, किटकिट हो जाता मेन डायलॉग देखने को, थोड़ा अनएक्सपेक्टेडनेस
तो
रहना,
एक
थोड़ा
मिनट एक
सरप्राइज
मिनट
एलिमेंट ऑफ सरप्राइज रहना, कुछ तो भी रहना ना, लाइक यू कैन फिगर आउट certain extent, not a whole movie obviously, but it's not that much fun. Yes sir.
अच्छा तो my question is yes or no बोल दो, I'll move on. So when you go
Okay.
for a movie and the trailers come on, you walk out of the theater?
What? No, see that point. What do you have? Anyway, we Hyderabad है अपन other time तो late ही चलते movie को late ही जाते mostly, but
नहीं हम
in
लोग
those
जब
situations what are you going to? I
मैं
don't
तो
follow
नहीं लेट
trailers,
जाऊंगा,
man.
मैं नहीं है
मैं तो
हैदराबादी,
लेट
मैं नहीं जाती लेट। मैं
बेटा
जाएंगे टाइम पे, मैं
तुम्हारा बोल
देखेंगे।
रहे, मैं मेरा बोल रहा हूँ, तुम तुम्हारा
तो
बोल रहे, मैं
तुम
मेरा
वही तो
बोल रहा हूँ.
पूछो, मैं गया था आपके साथ मूवीज, हम लोग तो तुम जाते थे क्या? ट्रेलर जब आता था हम लोग टाइम पे जाते थे, तो ट्रेलर देखते थे या नहीं देखते थे, उतना ही पूछ रहा हूँ।
I mean, देखो भाई, again in those situations तो आप स्क्रीन सामने आप क्या करेंगे, पागल बात है वो. But in those situations they want show पठान का trailer, no? They show different movies. They want show the movie which is going to happen. Mostly in the most
So
situations does
you
happen like that.
specifically don't want to see the Pathan trailer, or you don't watch trailers in general?
I generally, in general, I don't watch trailers because it doesn't look, पूरा आदि मतलब क्लिक अभी यहाँ पे भी, हाँ एक्चुअली थोड़ी स्टोरी मालूम हो गई ट्रेलर में. See, that's what I'm saying. आजकल के ट्रेलर बेकार हो गए. There's no सस्पेंस एलिमेंट ऑफ सरप्राइज. अब डॉक्टर फूडी बोले तो खत्म, एग्रीमेंट में आ गए, हम बोले तो नहीं सुन
उनका
सकते.
सलमान खान का ट्रेलर आएगा, आई थिंक
मैं साखा बंद कर लेता हूँ, मैं मुंडी पॉपकॉर्न में डाल देता हूँ, बस
भाई
कैरमल
देखने
पॉपकॉर्न आपको
वाला है।
दिला दूंगा मैं.
He is not
He's not
doing
doing
any
promotions,
promotions,
keeping
keeping
the
the
element
element
of
of surprise for SRK comeback after 4 years. He will be doing all promotions once more. Okay, so he'll come on those shows after. I'm excited for him to come on Big Boss and
स्मार्ट गाय मैन, दिस गाय नेक्स्ट लेवल जीनियस मैन. डॉक्टर फूडी बिग फैन यारो. हमारे को भी फॉलो कर लीजिए प्लीज, डॉक्टर फूडी थोड़ा बोला. अंशुल कुमार मिश्रा, जॉन जॉन का जगह अजय देवगन होता तो मजा आता, या आता नेगेटिव, बट या जॉन की बॉडी देखो यार, भाईगन क्या क्या उठा ले रहा, बाइक उठा ले रहा, इसमें आई थिंक गाड़ी उठा लेगा. नहीं यार वो सुधीर भाई सबसे बेकार मूवी, तुम प्लीज डोंट वॉच इट. आई मीन मैं देखा वो मूवी, इतने हाइप करे, इतनी डरावनी है, इतनी है, भाईगन उन्हें खाली एक गंजा रहता, उन्हें क्या कि कोई कुएं में जाता, कुएं में जाके कोई शैतान निकलता. Very stupid movie. Maybe
exorcism
effects
of
wise you
Emily
could say,
Rose.
yeah, not even exorcism, man, it was just bad. But yeah, the boss has spoken. Back to cricket, and yeah, as I speak and I'm looking, Johannesburg is still no loss, 0 wickets. Hey, I don't know, I think in all the way जाने वाले हैं. 110, 69 left of 36 deliveries. In
वो
other
तो देख
news,
लेंगे
Mustafa,
लोग क्रिकेट पे।
Pakistan.
मेरे को एक चीज बताओ, तुम्हारे लिए अगर रेट करना है, who was the man of the series for you from India?
Shubman Gill, man, 100%, 200 and 100 and 30 odd, and winning the match. Second match he won it. The first match he won it. The third match he had a hand in winning it. So yeah, multiple times he was just convincing, and for me it's definitely Shubman Gill. Bowler of the tournament from India for you.
Bowler of the tournament, Kuldeep Yadav. He picked up wickets
Kuldeep
at regular
Multiple.
intervals.
And also on a pitch which was not like a spinner's paradise, but he managed to pick 3.
Yeah, and again today, very crucial interval. His first wicket was a very crucial wicket. Your prediction for BGT? Someone asked. So I forgot to be talking about Shah Rukh Khan at that time. So yeah, your prediction. It's a bit early. You can change it later, but for now.
Okay, prediction for BJT. It's an interesting one going.
No, I don't think this will take India through to the final though. But bolo.
the way I'm looking at this Australian side and the way everyone is performing right now in the BBL, I mean, it is a T20 format, but they're getting cricket under their, sort of playing a lot of cricket. Let it be T20 or any format, and the test matches that they've had against West Indies, that they've just had, it is and South Africa. It has been amazing. It's going to be a very big challenge. I I feel. I mean, I know it might sound negative, but I feel like India is going to lose the series. I feel it's going to be like a 2-1 or a 3-1 to
Oh,
Australia. Being
I'm going
very
3-1.
very honest, because right now as a test team we're not prepared. I think like to that level that Australia is.
I'm going 3-1 India.
That's nice. I
Because
like it.
Australia, I think they
What
struggle in
on?
subcontinent conditions. They're not as clinical. Yes, they have a very good bowling lineup. They have Nathan Lyon, who's an amazing spinner, but they also have to handle the likes of Ashwin Jadeja. Labushan, I'm so surprised. Even in the Amazon documentary, they're saying कि भाई how lucky is this guy? So अगर उसके catches पकड़ लिए, उसको pressure में ला सकते. Steve Smith, of course, is the best one to watch out for. But apart from that, I think India, whoever the bowlers are, if it's Ashwin and Aksar, if it's Ashwin and Jadeja, if it's Ashwin, Aksar and Jadeja, I think it'll be tough to handle. Ranked runners लगाओ फिर देखो अगर
Ranked
and
runners
then
laga, but I think Australia are up for this challenge. I think they've also prepared themselves into the likes of Swepson, in the like of Rafi, in the like
yeah,
of Lions. So they have a good team, and like Travis Head, Usman Khwaja, Labuschagne, Steve Smith, Cameron Green. These guys are also in phenomenal form. So I'm just looking at that aspect. That Test cricket, agar apan dekh rahe at this point, Australia's played more in the last 3-4 months when you compare it to India. India has just played against Bangladesh. They've played against Australia, West Indies, and South Africa, and they've played like at home, maybe you could say, but yeah, again, their home conditions are pretty stronger. And obviously, Spain is a different game, so I mean, I'm just going that way. I'm going with Australia, maybe.
3-1 India, man. I think India will be too strong for them. Again, it won't be as easy. It could be 2-2. It could be thing. It's going to be a tough series. Definitely 100%. Like you said, Australia will be prepared. They will want to win this series. They want to prove a point. But I'm just looking at this current Indian team. And if everybody is fit, it might just prove one thing. And यही है फैज अगर pitches भी कैसे रहते हैं अगर rank turners है तो फिर
Yeah, वो एक अलग है.
it'll be difficult for India, but it'll be 10 times more difficult for Australia.
डर
यही
पर
तो है.
Australia, yeah, वो है अब वो पिच के ऊपर भी है, but yeah, maybe like you said, I can change it later on. So as as the tournament comes, maybe I'll come back to India 3-1. You never know, but yeah, for me, I just feel at this particular stance right now, Australia is a little bit stronger.
So
And
you're
the team
saying
selection is going to be crucial for me. That is also one more thing, I think. Like team to select हो गई, but like that final 11.
ख्वाजा
4-0
को
बोल
तो
रहे हैं ना तो.
अश्विन 4-0 to Australia.
भाई क्या,
Oof.
अरे सुधीर भाई के प्रोफाइल पे भी ऑस्ट्रेलिया बोल के लिखा है भाई. It's unfair, bro. You're Indian. Come on, Sudhir bhai. Shubman for being consistent throughout, 100% man of the series, very consistent, and won 2 matches out of 3 for India and had a major contribution in the third one as well. Mustafa bhai, King Kohli ने फाफड़ा पकड़ लिया है नागपुर में चलाते.
नहीं समझ में आया भाई मेरे को.
Sudhir bhai, just rephrase that probably for us. अब मेरे खुद भी समझ में नहीं आया. I like the 1 week break for games might be something to look at in the IPL, well, just to get players back in fresh and a proper break. Yeah, I think ऐसे T20 का बोल रहे Don. Yeah.
नहीं मगर उसमें like not everybody is getting a break. It's just to accommodate the England or South Africa series. So Butler and these guys are not on break. Ravada, Nokia, these guys are not going to be on break. So it's not really a break. Maybe for the other players, Van der Merwe can chill, but yeah, it's just to get in an international series. So it's more cricket more than anything. It's not a break, so everyone can relax and take time. It's not like that.
Exactly. Also, so like let's just take Don's thing for a moment, right? Like in terms of IPL में अगर या कोई भी format में ऐसा एकदम से break डाल दिए, do you think that would help the players, or would that like shift momentum for a team that is going strong in this whole series of an IPL or a domestic series? Would that affect them like in terms of अरे momentum पकड़ लिए अब एकदम बैठ गए, or like how do you see it?
It could have a positive effect. It could have a negative effect. It can have no effect because if I remember, KKR when there was a break and they came back and they moved to Dubai, they just killed it and reached the final that year. I think it was 2021, if I'm not mistaken. So it can have an effect, of course, when there is a break. But Abhi, like that was a 3-4 month break. This is only a 1 week break. I think you still be in rhythm. A lot of these players will still be playing cricket. So yeah, I don't think it's too much of an issue because break उतना बड़ा नहीं है. 5-6 दिन का तो ही break है.
पिच खोदने के लिए something. Fafda, acha. He's talking about Virat
भाई
Kohli has a
खोदो मत
shovel in his
खोदो,
hand.
मैं
Shovel in his
बोलता हूँ
hands, basically.
पिच
Shovel है
खोदो
Virat Kohli
भाई,
का में.
पिच
ना
खोदो,
खोद के
रैंक
लिए
टर्नर बनाओ और एक्साइटिंग बनाओ। 3 दिन 2 दिन में खत्म हो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, अपने कंडीशन में खेलो। गैबा में भी इतना बड़ा क्रैक था पिच पे, हम लोग भी सिडनी में भी बॉडी ब्लोज लिए, इधर भी बॉडी ब्लोज लिए। यहाँ पे खोदो पिच, आपके होम कंडीशन से जो भी करना है करो, लाइक जीतने के लिए, ऑफ कोर्स विद इन द लिमिट्स ऑफ द गेम, डोंट चीट और एनीथिंग लाइक दैट।
don't do sandpapers and stuff. But I think 1 week break will be good, something to think about for 2 months of cricket. I mean, it is a good thing from a player's perspective, from a viewer's perspective. Again, a 1 week break, and how IPL is commercial marketing, and I know people will watch, but एकदम से break आ गया and in a high intensity tournament, then what I feel
For
ऐसा
IPL, yes, I would take a break because it's become longer now. But then
हम्म,
don't put cricket in between that. Just relax and 1 week no break. I don't mind a break because it's a long thing. Yes, I would agree. But here they're taking a break so they're accommodating an international series. So it's a bit different over there.
yeah, Faf is going crazy. 98 not out, first century of an SA T20, and yeah, he's going insane because 99 पे Alex Hales out हुआ था. 98, 52 balls, 7 fours and 7 sixes. भाई next level जा रहा Faf Duplessis. In IPL, in 8 team IPL, there was a 1 week break for every team, different time. In 8 team IPL.
Have to use home advantage Aksar as spinning a web on the Aussies. Yeah, 100%. I agree. Like, play to your conditions. You make rank
Yeah,
tennis.
Dharamshala will support Australia.
You remember against England the first Test match, Joe Root hit a double hundred. I think those were
Hmm.
traditional Indian wicket where it's flat in the beginning and then it starts to deteriorate, and it worked in England's favor. They won the toss. Root was in form, and then Anderson did the job. So मेरे हिसाब से I think don't take that risk. Just have rank turners from ball one.
Lalit bhai, thank you for joining us. He has the, I think on emojis be, I think translated into words.
Put yourself
Can
wide eyes.
can
Six.
Virat Kohli break Sachin Tendulkar's ODI century record face? Okay, I think that was emojis
भाई
which were coming
spam
out,
हो जा
but
रहे हैं.
yeah, I think unfortunately उनका साथ कुछ हो गया उनका phone में. But Musa, yeah, your take, can Virat Kohli break Sachin Tendulkar's ODI century record?
या 4 सेंचुरी
ODI,
बाकी है
yeah,
नहीं.
3 या 4 है, हाँ, Lalit bhai, definitely he has ample amount of time. He got 1 century just recently. He'll get it hopefully in the World Cup. Maybe that is where I see Virat Kohli finishing it up. Inshallah, hopefully. Let's see. And अंशुल भाई बोलते हैं इंडिया का मिडल ऑर्डर चेक होना चाहिए ओडीआई में 3 आउट के बाद या वही बात चल रही थी अंशुल भाई शुरू शुरू में आई थिंक आप थोड़े लेट ज्वाइन करें इट इज अ वरिंग थिंग फॉर इंडिया मिडल ऑर्डर यूजुअली बैटिंग की वजह से इंडिया थोड़ी बहुत फेल हो रही है वर्ल्ड कप सिचुएशन में स्पेशली इन द सेमीफाइनल जहाँ पे एकदम से विकेट चले आते दैट इज समथिंग दैट एंड आज के बेसिस पे अगर देख रहे ऊपर की पार्टनरशिप के बाद लगातार विकेट गिरे हैं बट देन हार्दिक पांड्या sort of came to the rescue. So it is worrisome, but definitely होगा कुछ तो भी इसका. When SA T20 resumes, it will be good because all teams still in contention. Yeah, I mean they are in contention, but I still think the top four are way ahead in certain aspects. Like Mumbai, Cape Town, अगर आप देखो Don, that team is next level strong. Paul Royals have a decent squad. Durban are
But
not
they're losing a lot of
getting.
games. The Cape Town, they're losing a lot of games. They're getting under pressure. Too many stars spoiling the broth right now. They're not looking in rhythm. They have outstanding bowling, but they're just not looking clicking as a unit. Their batting has been disappointing as well. In the last game, Bravis did get a start, but no support from anyone else.
Apart
Rabada.
from Durban, apart from Durban, I think everyone else is still in contention. I think Joburg is on 12 points, and then it is MI Cape Town after them, and then it's Par Royals is now below us on net run
Bro,
rate. So yeah,
they should not be in. That's what I'm trying to tell you. With that team, MI should be on top. They should be killing
top.
it, but they're not. Like they should be much better than the place they are right now. It shouldn't be. Everyone should not be in contention. Mumbai should be. Cape Town should be flying, but it's
Yeah,
just
they,
not
they,
getting.
did, they did beat Durban today, so let's see. Maybe that could be a way for them to get back on top. Remember Ravi Shastri pitch ko nikalo game se get out them on full toss. Ravi Shastri saying this.
So I had a question for you. Um, Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question for you. Okay, let's just let's take this. Love as team. I love that unity in team and fans. Am I fourth? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love the unity as well. The way they're playing the cricket, outstanding, very good. That home atmosphere, the Sunrisers Eastern Cape atmosphere is outstanding, man. I really like it. It's buzzing right now. It's like a fortress, and hope they keep winning.
वेयर फ्रॉम हम लोग हैदराबाद से हैं ललित भाई
Stop talking
and
about
yeah
English.
yeah,
Okay.
stop talking. So
Stop talking
yeah,
English.
basically हम लोग हैदराबाद से इंडिया से हैं and yeah definitely हम लोग इंग्लिश भी हिंदी भी बात करते हुए keep mixing it up
मेरी
कभी
हिंदी उतनी
इधर
अच्छी
कभी
नहीं
उधर
है, तो इसलिए मैं इंग्लिश में
बट
बात
हम
कर
लोग
लेता
बात
हूँ.
कर लेते रहते हैं बट मसला नहीं है डेफिनेटली हम अकोमोडेट सबको करेंगे एंड आपकी जो
अच्छा,
फीडबैक है
करेंगे.
वो अप्रिशिएटेड है ये
हम्म.
एमआई केप टाउन वालों को शादी में नहीं बुलाया अंबानी जी ने नहीं ये काम पे रखा हुआ है ना तो काम के बीच में नो नो ब्रेक्स आई थिंक
Bro, he came. Akash Ambani was in the stands yesterday. I was surprised. He came straight from that engagement party, that party which took place. He came straight and he's there. The boss is present. He's keeping a close eye on them. It's not like he's taking it lightly and just partying. He's coming to the ground and
maybe
everything. Whatever.
yeah
Huh?
you were saying something about a question Mustafa.
Yeah, I lost my train of thought over there.
Okay, when your
लेकिन
train comes back to the station, let us know. England T20 team आ गया.
yeah, but I lost it
हाँ,
because you said England T20 team.
आप पढ़ लो फिर इंग्लैंड T20 टीम के हाल वेस्ट इंडीज T20 जैसा ना हो जाए लीग खेलते कंट्री प्ले नॉट
हाँ सॉरी इंग्लैंड T20 टीम का हाल वेस्ट इंडीज T20 नहीं नहीं आई थिंक देखो वेस्ट इंडीज में बोर्ड का बहुत प्रॉब्लम है वहाँ पे इश्यूज है पैसों का प्रॉब्लम है इंग्लैंड इज इन दैट बिग थ्री इंग्लैंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया इंडिया they'll always be successful they'll be in and around that situation I don't think it's going to be any issue for England. MI Cape Town have some tough conditions to play in so far in the SCT20. They now going to play 2 of the 3 matches as Centurions and Wanderers, which will suit them. I agree, but the team that they have, they should be winning in all conditions. They have a world-class spinner, 2 world-class fast bowlers. They have great batsmen as well. One of the best young talents in the tournament. So I feel that they should be there. Kavya Madam making good teams and getting wedding proposals. Best owner ever. Akash Ambani is married. I know he's married, but his brother was getting engaged, right?
yeah
So he was,
Anant Ambani is engaged but like Akash has been married before I think तो उन्होंने उस
no,
हिसाब
but
से
I'm saying
बोलेंगे but he didn't come straight after
he was at the
Anant or
party.
Akash
Akash Ambani.
yeah so the one who got engaged was Anant not Akash that's what he's saying I think
But I'm
you
not saying
said
that.
you know
I'm still my brother. Like I'm losing my. Like I know that he's. I'm talking about him only. I know that
I
he
get
didn't
I
get
get
engaged. Like if my
हाँ
brother's
नहीं
wedding is the next day I'm in South Africa. Like I know
गेस
everything
करो
they have.
हम कहाँ हैं
Huh?
या I get what you're saying या इवेंट के बाद एकदम से सीधा जाना या
Sunrises के सारे fan, including Faz Bhai. Yeah.
Faiz bhai is a fan of Maran but not a fan of her you know पैडल उठा के एकदम से रख देना that is annoying and वो फोन पे एकदम कॉल आता उन्हें परेशान हो जाते बेचारे but yeah we appreciate our owners
Yeah, so plenty of cricket still to discuss. We have the T20 series, so we'll have the review for that on preview for that on Thursday. If you have any other ideas or any questions, you can always message us on Twitter, Instagram, on Chasing the Target, and also we will have some Border Gavaskar specials. We'll be previewing the series, but leading up to that, we'll have some different episodes, player comparisons, looking at stats, looking at history, looking at previous series, and looking forward to the game as well. So do like and subscribe and join us for those shows. Also, it'll be a lot of fun, and hopefully we can get some guests on. We always mention that, and we'll keep trying. And whenever we can get somebody on, we'll let you know in advance or not in advance. But yeah, just a few couple of more comments and we'll wrap up. क्या SRH top 4 जाएगी क्या? SRH सनराइजर्स हैदराबाद IPL में जा सकती मेरे हिसाब से लेकिन मुश्किल तो होगा 100% because वहाँ पे आप मुंबई I think will be back with the bang. What's his
Punjab
name?
की team
Punjab will be back. I think they have a very strong team. Chennai, yes, Ben Stokes is there with MS Dhoni. तो वो आपकी वहाँ पे 3 टीम आ गए. RCB का पता नहीं देखेंगे. लेकिन yeah. Thank you, Don. We're waiting for you to come on and chat with you. You always have a great great perspective on cricket, and you've been with me from day one without a doubt. जब काम पे या इधर या उधर शादी से इधर से उधर से Don has always been part of the channel. So thank you so much for your support, and we'll get you on soon consistently, hopefully, and looking forward to all the BGT and Sunrisers and Hyderabad and IPL coverage. MI Cape Town have been playing with an inexperienced batting lineup. The bowling has been good. It's the batting that's struggling. Good point.
Yes, sir.
But
And Faf has made his 100 finally. I think ho chuka
made
काफी
a
time से, but
hundred
Faf
after to see.
100, man, that's insane. Yeah.
Very good. So let's watch that 100. And whoever has joined us, we also have a football channel, Chasing Green Arrows. We'll be going live in 15 minutes. It's not me and Fez. We'll be behind the scenes, but we'll have two journalists from England, Dean Jones and Gianni Patice. They'll be discussing the English Premier League and in particular the Fantasy Premier League that we all play. So if you like football, they'll be discussing the United Arsenal game. So I'm sure Don will join for that. So yeah, see you guys over there. Until then, take care. And with your last comment, Dr. Foodie slide subtle joke insert. Guess करो हम कहाँ से है? Okay, Fez sir.
कहाँ है? He understood that. कभी खुशी कभी गम dialogue. Basically, I was saying it for Anant Ambani.
Oh,
Yeah. Dr.
अच्छा.
Fudi, ये सब तवज्जो दे रहे हैं क्रिकेट पे दो.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah,
Whoosh.
so you were saying.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Fez. Thank you for
Thank you, sir.
your input, and we'll catch you very soon. Until then, everyone, take care. Thank you, Dr. Foodie, and all his fans, and thank you to all
Yeah.
our fans, whoever joined us. There, we really appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and we will keep the cricket content going. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. Good evening, guys. Take care.